vortex magnifiers and Unity. Oh, I thought that was on a Unity mount.
No.
Everything on that wall, including that Zenico thing, was in Afghanistan at some point. Not these ones.
No.
That. Though a lot of it probably.
How do you like your Insight flashlight? Yeah. Overpriced.
I mean, it was $80
Oh,
for the
Didn't
black
you get
one.
one too?
I didn't.
Oh.
They were on Arms Unlimited for $80, and that's the only reason I got one.
Yeah.
This one doesn't have the button on the back like the tan ones do, which
Yeah.
is the one people spend like $600 for or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The one that paired with the EOTech
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like
and
$400
double button thing
Yeah.
usually.
and fragile crap.
Yeah.
Okay, well I'm grumpy, so you guys gotta carry it tonight.
Well,
So I was just driving and I was just like watching Australian concentration camps and shit. Just like,
oh, the COVID camps?
Oh.
yeah.
That looks absolutely like
They're-
something I do not want to do.
They're telling some poor woman she had to stay on her fucking porch. Like she
Yeah.
was some fucking goon in a hospital gown, like a plastic gown and a mask. It's like, oh, if you come towards the lorry, I'll have to warn you again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
Australia
was
went from
British
like
or
So
Cool.
heartbreaking.
cool
they
to
just went back to a penal colony.
terrible. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, we got a fourth chair. For
Yeah.
This one, Eric.
Yeah, none of us have ever introduced ourselves, but that's Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, maybe we should introduce ourselves.
it's
we
about
should.
Anyway, what do you guys want to
Yeah.
talk about?
Yeah.
Anyhow.
I'm like these guys, but not like them at all. But really like all of them, all at the same time.
glad you're here.
In almost every way and almost none of the ways at the same time.
Yeah.
So
He's his own person, except all these white guys look alike, you know. So. I don't have a ball cap on.
Oh,
Do you
I'm
want
doing
one?
a t-shirt and a beanie, so I'm like Chris R. He's the villain
well,
from the
we're
room.
gonna do the flannel versus t-shirt war after this.
Oh.
I guess
Oh.
so.
Yes.
We should do a review. I bought a Unity clutch, which is like a Secret Service concealed carry thing to keep like IFAC pieces and mags and stuff.
Mm.
And it's basically one of those fucking girdles to keep your fucking pudge pushed in, you know? But it's got like pockets, and
It's like bat belt.
and no one can answer what size you need.
You put your grappling hook in it.
You know, it kind of crossed my mind that there's that like Stormtrooper grappling hook,
Yeah.
you know, like something like that with just 550 cord. Like you couldn't climb with it, but you could totally descend something, you know.
Mhm.
And it's like you could have it feed out of there. Like it actually kind of crossed my mind. It was a lot like the Stormtrooper belt. You're putting frag grenades in it and stuff, you know.
Unlike a stormtrooper, you probably can make use of any sort of gear, you know, and not be completely. I don't know. I'm scrubbing it.
I don't know where you're going with
Yeah,
that.
what are you
I was
going
gonna
at
go
this?
into shooting, but you're not
Oh.
top shot anyway.
Oh, no news. My furnace went out the other day.
Ah, that sounds cold.
It was cold.
Ah,
I got up in the middle of the night and like, man, it seems really cold in here. And it was 55 degrees.
Mm.
I'm like, well, it's 10 degrees colder than I can sleep in. I like to sleep in.
What was it?
Like not the
There-
big
where
pusher
there's
motor.
supposed to be fire, there wasn't.
Not the big fan motor, but there's like another little motor they call like an inducer.
Yep.
That went out.
Yeah, the
Like it
same
just
thing
seized
happened
up.
on mine last year. That's what I replaced.
Yeah.
I like to keep my house at a cozy
12.
68 degrees, 12 degrees.
What does balmy mean?
Balmy?
Yeah.
Boomy.
Balmy?
Like from
Like it's a balmy
Avatar.
82 degrees out there in
It sounds sunny.
you know.
I think balmy
Or like
means like
humid?
it's mild, like mediumly humid,
So it's like a humidity thing.
maybe.
Okay, because hat's too hot. I was like people like to say balmy as a joke, where they're like, it's a balmy 8,000 Kelvin on the sun today, and they're like, yeah, but I don't even know what that means. So
Is it supposed to be comforting?
I know you made a joke, but I'm not a nuclear psychologist. I don't know what you
You know,
mean.
why
you
haven't
know?
we landed on the sun?
Yeah,
Smash Mouth did it. Why can't we do it?
they did that "Walking on the Sun" song.
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was Fastball.
No.
I've never even heard of that.
They did that.
I'm sure you've heard of the song.
The song
the song.
the song Fastball Mate or the Walking on the Sun
Probably
song?
both.
Oh.
Actually,
You probably know the
both
Weird
from
Al
the
parody.
90s.
Oh, I had that Smash Mouth album actually, so
Are they still around? Are they doing anything?
Oh, I saw a great video. It was like a TikTok that was
Guess we'll never know.
ended up on Facebook. No, you can find it on YouTube. It's Smash Mouth doing like a beer garden concert at some some like beer festival, and they're just fucking plastered.
Oh, really?
It's like, okay, your whole family. Why are you singing this is my fucking song? And yeah, it was bad.
That's a good band to let get drunk. 'Cause it's not like
the
you're
lead singer's
expecting
like
anything.
leaning up on a pole, holding a beer, and just fucking drops it. It's a great video. You guys should look it up, or we can look it up after this.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up after.
Our viewers.
I'll probably
should
throw
look
it.
up, too.
I'll probably throw it in somewhere.
You start promising inserts.
Yeah, That's when we start doing it.
Yeah.
We haven't made a video in a while.
That's my fault.
Well, it's kind of
Also
all,
mine.
Yeah, also
I've
mine.
been hunting every weekend.
After however many years ago 1995 was, I decided to put electric door locks in my mom's Jeep because it was like 70 out. And that involved taking everything the fuck apart in the yard, in the mud puddles. And she has one electric door now. So, and a whole bunch of extra wires that are all taped together. I don't know what they do. You know.
Then I was hunting, and then Thanksgiving happened, and that's where we are.
Yeah, and then immediately after Thanksgiving, I went hunting for a week again.
Like 3 times.
You didn't get anything else?
I only had the one tag that I got the first weekend, and then the next weekend we just went out there because we rented a cabin.
Reed got a killer buck. Well, you guys saw the picture.
yeah.
And then,
Jesus.
and then after Thanksgiving, my dad had a muzzleloader tag, so I was basically just driving him around.
Yeah. Did
You
he
fucking
fill out?
leftists. Your dad found a cool ass 50 cal, and he called and asked me why it was so cheap, and it's because it was a Barrett M99,
Yeah.
a single shot bullpup. And I was like, that's still cool. And he's like, yeah, but I'm a lefty, I can't buy that. I'm like I might buy it.
I was also worried about
left-handed lefty.
I was also worried about that ad because it's like, yeah, Jerry's pissing hot reloads. There's 300 to 500 of them. They come with the gun.
Scary.
Like, if there's one reload I don't want to shoot from anyone else, it is a 50 cal reload.
No, especially out of like a bullpup.
Yeah.
Or well, I'd pick that Barrett long before I'd pick that screw on the back. Yeah, Serbu one. But I don't know.
Not that there's anything wrong with your gun, Mark. It's a mental engineering kind of problem.
Yeah,
That new rifle your dad got, that's the one for prairie dog shooting?
Yeah.
He's spending thousands of dollars on a high-end
Yeah, he's
going
gonna put a Mark V on it too.
That's amazing. They'll never see it
mean,
coming.
I've dumped my entire. I could probably have not $1 million house, but I could probably have a really nice house if I didn't have all this crap in my fucking strewn all over the house. And
You're thinking about it all wrong, James.
antiquated aiming laser from the fucking 2003. You know, I mean,
You can use all that crap to obtain a house.
By force.
That's Eric. This is why I didn't want to deal with those SIG scope mounts. Because I was like, there is a fucking ton of money to make by like SIG 551 parts dried up like long ago, like 2000, and they were never for sale in the U.S. And then there's sort of a gimmicky import thing that happened. That's where mine came from. But the parts still are hard as fuck to find.
And if they are, it's kind of gray market sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this French guy on eBay where there's like 5 of them, I mean, I think those are genuine Swiss parts that, I don't know how he got them or why, but just kind of a random grab bag. And anyway, I bought myself one, and I was like, on Gunbroker, somebody's selling the exact same thing for $1,300.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, somebody could really make like $600 profit on each of these if you were patient.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking through both of them. The French guy, he's got all sorts of just really weird, obscure stuff. Like he had it was like a bicycle mount for a MG42, like when you disassembled an MG42, it clamped into different spots on the bicycle so a single soldier could like ride it out into the battlefield and then assemble it. And it's like, where the hell do you find this shit? And then the
They
other
left
guy,
it in France.
yeah,
It's like,
apparently.
wait, it's like, hey, is that a hardtail? And the guy's like, crunch, 9. Mine a sheet metal machine gun. It's just like, why? Don't go fucking bumping on stuff with your gun bicycle.
But anyways, when it comes to the value of that stuff, like when only one person is selling one, it's hard to know like what it's worth. Because I mean, he had like his starting bid at like $14.95, and he's got one bid on it. But there's like 6 days left, no other bidders, and it's like you wonder if like people like that just have multiple accounts and bid on their own stuff to drive the prices up.
It's
and
possible.
then they hope that just someone else will like get in a bidding war with themselves.
Yeah.
So it's impossible to know what the stuff is worth, but I feel like I could at least get what I have into it, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, if you're patient, that's probably the biggest thing
Well,
is
like,
you got to remember to go looking for it. Not you, but I mean, I try and look every week for these pieces,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden there's 5 of them, and then 3 days later there's one on Gunbroker.
Yeah.
But there was months of nothing. The only one there was the B&T modern version
Uh-huh.
of it's just a pick rail that does the same weird mounting thing. But
Well, there's all these weird channels of like gun parts too, because like stuff that like you can't like you'll like there'll be people that'll just absolutely refuse to sell anything on Gunbroker, but then they'll like be trying to peddle it on like Reddit gun parts for sale, like we'll only accept Zelle, or like you have to drive to my house in Florida and I'll pay for your gas. So,
Yeah,
like
it's
I
Florida.
will not sell on Gunbroker. And it's like there's probably so much shit that's out there that
Yeah.
you just won't find because people aren't willing to embrace modern technology to sell the shit.
A lot of the stuff I feel bad about is like that really rare, obscure stuff, like from World War II. Like IMA is a great example. Like a lot of their stuff is like, wow, that is really cool. I don't know what the fuck I would do with a field telephone from 1943.
Right?
no, S2 Underground will tell you.
Yeah,
I
I watched that one, but it's like this phone in a box that I keep in my basement.
It looks
Till
cool.
when?
Yeah. What would be really funny is if you like got an RC car and drove a phone line over to your parents' house through the sewers. Like just drive. There's like some guy in the sewer. He's like doing the Dwight thing. Like
Yeah.
he follows it. It's like private phone line. Like sound powered phone.
Oh man, we should get the old Pentagon and Octagon phones hooked up in here.
Oh, do you still have those?
I do.
Oh, cool.
That would be really cool.
That would be great.
It wouldn't be too hard. We could wire it anywhere.
Yeah, we could literally just have them on the wall if we could talk to
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
So
Be a funny bit,
logistically,
too.
this would have never worked, but there's a couple things. Censor the name of this guy.
Sure.
I mean, I don't have to say it, but anyway, though, back when he was the platoon sergeant and Enoch was working there, I was gonna have like a bit, like a talk show bit where it's like it's time for a prank call the drill hall, and it's just called, it's like, and it's like, hey, this is Mankato. You need to send us all the Humvees. It's like, what do you mean all the Humvees? And it's like, I have a list here, and start reading real bumper numbers. So, like, who is this? And just make up names, and
We
but
could do
I had
that.
like 100 pranks written down in like a notebook. It's like just speak really, really quietly and ask for somebody that's not there.
We could do that now and just like call the AMSA shop and tell them that the Humvees extended warranties are overdue.
It's like just reading off random serial numbers. Like, we're missing, call in big. We're missing one of these SKLs. We were hoping you might have it. Just get all sorts of stuff shut down.
When was the last time we were in the same place? Well, doesn't matter. We think you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the other. There was something else. It was like it was one of those like Home Alone tricks, or I wanted to play something, but I think it was a Deus Ex prank phone calls where it's like the JC Denton lines from Deus Ex, and he like calls this tech support guy, and he's like, it's just lines from the video game, but they're playing them at exactly the right time. You know.
I'm just writing a note for later.
January.
I'm just writing. I'm just
make sure
reading
to
a
flush
note.
toilet. That's weird.
All right.
I don't understand that.
Well, I mean, did Donald Trump incite an erection? We will get to the bottom of this.
One way or another.
Stormy Daniels sure did.
Man,
I already know where this is going.
if you're gonna cheat on Melania
Yeah.
and you pick Stormy fucking Daniels, I like that guy, you know? Like, come on, you know? Like, filthy rich, you know? There's, you know, go get Kyla Cole. She looks like Melania, you know?
Well, I'd rather have him cheat on Melania than cheat on America.
I am sure people have said that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Absolutely sure.
Oh, man.
Well, I feel like a dry well for personality today.
Yeah, me too, kind
Um,
of. No, I wrote down this little...
is it a ladder?
No,
Hashtag?
it would be funny to do a video where
Oh,
you're Macaulay Culkin in your house, and a couple of us are the wet bandits, and you got to defend your house with knickknacks and jacks
basically
and
that.
Knickknacks and
paint
paddywhacks.
cans.
that's basically that already anyway.
Yeah.
It's just fucking dangerous shit all over. It's just a fucking asbestos. I was screwing in an LED light bulb in the cold, and the thing popped in my hand. Like, and the LEDs still work, but the glass shattered because it got hot on the inside and it was
Surprised it
cold on
actually
the
had glass
outside.
in it.
Yeah, like the outside, the bulb was glass, even though the LEDs were.
Mm.
So I just left it. I figured, fucking, they're nice. They're like $8 a piece. Like the lumens don't make sense on light bulbs because it was like 6,500 lumens. It's just a light bulb, but the LEDs are like this spiral thing and pretty nice. So I just left it. Might burn the house down. I don't know.
Have you started tearing into your house at all, or
I mean, just little
you should,
stuff here
you should
and there.
join the club? It's exhilarating.
I've mostly just been working in the garage.
Yeah, I've been trying to do mine.
I got my hard lines plumbed in for my compressor that I bought, but my brand new super nice air compressor's got a crack in the side of the engine that's leaking compressor oil all over the place that they just painted over it, and then when I pressurized it to break it in, it pushed through the paint, and now it's leaking oil everywhere.
Oh god.
And it's under warranty, but they don't have any engines in stock to replace it.
I got like a little 5-gallon
Here it sits.
Craftsman compressor, and I got a mind to actually just shove it up in the attic and put the hose through a hole in it, just so I can run it everywhere.
Every time it kicks on, dust falls off the
I was thinking about that. I'm like, I could just build like a little platform for it to sit up there, like, zip tie the shit down or like, bolt it down, and then just throw a little grommet through the sheetrock and then run the hose through, and then I can just like hang it up on the wall or something. Just like have it come out central so I can get it everywhere in the whole garage. And then it would be kind of more quiet, but then if I gotta fuck with it, then I have to climb up the ladder and get in my, army crawl in through my
Plus
tiny
you'd be
little attic
covered in
space.
that loose insulation and you'd be itchy for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped eating it.
Dude.
My stomach got all cotton candy in the ceiling is not for eating.
I've been watching a lot of, I think you call it network TV, like the radio wave TV that comes in.
Yeah.
That's what's on at Mom's house. There's a fucking kid that lives at Mom's house again for a couple months. But one of them CSIs, I think it was Miami.
The guy?
I think so.
Horatio?
Yeah, but he wasn't really a major part. Oh yeah, it was him. Yeah, he just showed up later. But so like, there's this episode. It starts out where they're like flying around town in their fucking Hummer H2, and they pull up to this house, and they walk in and there's no one there, and they're like, yeah, the neighbors said they smelled something foul, and I'm like, so they called crime scene investigation. You know, like it was like, is there like a pee trap dried up or so, you know, in the toilet? And like, and they're like looking around and they like find a dead body in the attic, of course, and they're
That's
just
not what they do.
what do you?
That's not what crime scene investigators do. They don't just show up like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, and then it turns out there was a dead body and a
Yeah.
crime.
They investigate to find the crime scene.
Yeah. No body, no crime.
Yeah. But this episode impressed me though because well it was stupid as fuck, but they're up in the attic and somebody does like the Christmas Story or Family Vacation Christmas Story thing. They close the fucking ladder access and they can't get out and they start shooting holes upstairs. And all the detectives, they don't shoot where they think the gunman is. They shoot at the bullet holes laterally, you know. And they're like, those bullets are just flying like out the house, you know. But anyway, the guy starts a fire, and they can't get out of the attic. And so like, I was like, oh man, this is obvious. Start knocking shit out of the way, you know. Like start breaking the floor or the walls, you know.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what they do.
Oh.
And I just couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, that. It's so unexpected you do something like that. I figure you'd like call for help or something and they'd get there just in time because it's a dumb TV show.
Some guy in a helicopter with like leaning out of the side of the helicopter with the chainsaw cutting a hole in the roof so they
Yeah.
can climb out or something.
I
Yeah.
found you guys needed some help.
Yeah. But then it immediately lost me because there's like some louver vent kind of thing at the end of the thing. And he's like picks up a pipe or something and he just can't break them.
Oh.
He can't pitch him out of the way like a crowbar. He can't smash him. And like, meanwhile, the lady like kicks through a layer of plywood and a layer of insulation and a layer of sheetrock and makes a hole big enough for both of them to get out the bottom with. And he can't get these louvers that would probably fall out the way they build shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Movies always do like walls wrong. Like
Yeah.
when Craig Bond is like running through drywall and there's no studs in the
It'd
way.
be so funny to like after like post production add some studs and he's just like, oh, you know, like, are you okay? Mostly. Oh,
Well,
it's like a big rectangular
I'm just really upset with myself.
bruise.
I bet if Alec Baldwin was on site, there'd be some studs in the way.
Yeah.
Is that too soon?
I don't know. That dude. I mean, like I said, Hunt for Red October now stars a convicted pedophile and
Hey.
Who was the pedophile?
alleged murderer. The Skip Tyler guy, the guy with the beard that has one leg, and he's like, "It's a DSRV."
Oh.
And it's like, Alec Baldwin works as an analyst for the CIA doing submarine stuff. What's that little thing?
What's that baby submarine doing here?
It's like a little toy of the big one they're building. like, I don't know.
Speaking of pedophilia,
Exposition is.
speaking of that, this country's doing it.
That pedophile's working on the little sub.
Well, soon that won't even be a crime in this fucking country. So
Yeah.
it'll be
doubt it.
applauded.
Yeah, I was mad about everything driving up, and I saw my friends and I felt better, but now I don't.
Yeah. It's all
Now
your
we're-
fault.
Right back to normalize pedophilia, normalize.
Why are you
The way
the
that
way you are? I hate everything about what you choose to be.
That's good. Good
Yeah.
to see you fuckers.
You know, talking about this bummer shit, we're gonna scare away the fan.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
It's a box fan. They're very versatile. You can put it in a window.
yeah.
I talked about
on
I saw a thing about
floor.
taking a box fan, like just building a box and then putting the box fan in it, and then put a filter on one side, hang it in your garage, and then instead of buying like an expensive filter or like air,
particulate filter.
yeah, like that kind of it's like a $20 filter for your garage for like if you're doing woodworking or anything with fumes. You can build a hood and then like suck it up
Oh,
through a pipe out of here.
We used two of them in my garage to turn my garage into a paint booth.
Mhm.
The steady the air flowing in one side and out the
Yeah.
other side with just a sheet over it to catch all the paint.
You don't even need a big fan.
we
either.
call
You
it
don't
the
need-
explosive vapor tunnel.
if you wanted to build like a small paint booth, like for small parts, not like to paint a car, right? You could even get by with a little like PC fan.
Paint
Yeah,
vapors
absolutely.
are very, very dangerous.
So today at work we had to go get like paper towels and toilet paper and stuff for the office at Walmart, and they wanted keyboard duster. Just randomly, I was like, I just go get the air compressor, but they wanted keyboard duster, and we couldn't find it, so we actually asked the guy at electronics, and we're like, so do you have any keyboard duster? And he's like, oh, we sold the last can yesterday. And I was like, spray paint it is. They walked away, and the dude was just like,
wouldn't you believe it? The goddamn CEO said we bought the fucking name brand shit,
That's Reed's dad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have any grievances, actually didn't know that when I applied, but
which makes that all more funny.
Yeah.
Funnier.
But yeah, keyboard duster, which is a product I've never used professionally. Never.
I used it for the first time the other day, and holy shit, was my keyboard at work full of shit.
You think you'd carry it?
So much dust came out of it.
You think you'd carry that shit at EDC so you can break locks with it?
Oh, well, so that doesn't work, but it does do those motion detector things.
Yeah.
Like the door unlocks for fire hazards or whatever. Like hackers will turn it upside down so all the coolant sprays out or whatever, and it makes a cloud of shit, and the motion detector thing thinks it's got a person in front of it. So it is actually like something they do. But
a vape will also work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about that last drill, actually. We were trying to... Because I had like a coat hanger I was trying to wave in front of it, but that didn't work at all. As most projects don't, as you do.
Could have tied your kerchief to it.
There was no room in the door, but yeah, I tried that.
No.
So only used for that COVID mask, so it wouldn't go on my fucking face. Not wearing them things anymore.
No, I don't carry one. I don't have one in my house. If I go into a store that wants me to wear one, they're gonna give one to me.
Yeah.
Or I'm just not gonna go in there.
I'm glad Menards stopped.
Well, they're doing the thing that everyone's doing now, where it's like, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear one, and it's like, well, we're not gonna ask, nor can we.
Yeah.
Till there's like the Menards concentration camps. Like you can leave if you have your receipt.
Not allowed to use that rebate anymore.
Yeah.
It kept you here longer than the time you had to submit it.
Women are good at those rebate things. Eric's special lady, my mom,
Dad's really good at that.
I don't know, because
some of them. My grandpa does those a lot.
Maybe I'll get good at it when my kid's born.
I think I've thrown away hundreds of dollars worth of 11% of something.
Yeah. Oh, and what's awesome with all the shit that you get from those rebates too, like all the shit that you get the rebate, but then there's also all that, like, they have a bunch of shit that's even cheaper that you can use those rebates on. It's like basically turns Menards into a dollar store. And it's like, come Christmas time, it's like, God damn it, my father-in-law is going to give me a bag full of useless fucking shit.
Master Force.
Yeah, just random things, like extra speed squares, extra fucking random things like oven liners and stuff. And I love getting those fucking bags full of that shit, because I always find, they're just not useless. I always find it useful.
Rippets.
Hell yeah!
Oh,
it might take me a while to work through the bag, but it's fun getting a random bag of like Menards shit.
It's more fun figuring out what you're going to use it for instead of its intended use.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like to go to yard sales and buy people's machine screws in a Ziploc bag that they don't know why they have them. Because like we all have that Folgers can of bullshit, I
got several.
It's like someday we'll have enough to, like, we'll have 5 matching bolts for this,
I always used to save, back when I was a carpenter, I used to save like every excess screw that came out of my nail bags and stuff, and so I got like piles of them, random like zip screws and sheet metal screws and nails, and but it's nice because you have all that stuff. Half of them are all rusted together, but I got screws.
You got meatballs.
You want some meatballs? So.
Really, don't think about it. What's your favorite song?
I have to think about
it. Yeah. Mine's Buck Cherry, Crazy Bitch. Fucking love that song. Really high dignity movie about submarines.
What's your favorite cover art for any 5-Finger Death Punch album? The one with the skeleton, like.
You know, I like that rifle, but I feel like I'm partial to the solid stock. You know, M14s.
Oh, the old M14.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh,
I like them both, but I carried this for like a couple days.
Well, I mean,
A
like
different one. And
I think
all I could think about is it looked like fucking chunky, heavy Legos, and I was like, this thing could catch on every goddamn chunk of wire and
yeah,
webbing
there's
and
just a lot of snagging
just
points.
sharp edges that. And we had a fucking Pac 15 and a little Doctor Red Dot or whatever the first one
The
was.
original
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, and all this crap and
The one
like,
with the owl on it.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, it was on top of all the Spectres.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't have Spectres, but yeah, it was like
I'm surprised you didn't go with a solid stock like Black Hawk Down version of the rifle.
Oh yeah.
Just knowing you, wanting
Oh, that's
that.
more of an M14
Eventually, I mean,
someday.
it's definitely on the list of builds. That one was just
Those must be hard to find now. Huh?
no. That's why that one kind of came about. Is you can still order those Sage chassis brand new, and you know the cheap route is to just go with a M1A. You know, you because you can buy just barreled actions.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's a pretty easy build for. That was my first clone build, and it mostly just because it was the easiest. Honestly, the hardest thing, somewhat for that whole build, was just getting that scope, and that's still not the right scope. It's just the closest scope on the civilian market to the one that came on those rifles.
It'd be cool if Leopold started like a retro shop, like the old suppressors that go on the Mark 12s.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, like they're just like, hey, you know, like the glasses are just dimensioned. Like, grind us some of these, you know, and we'll whip up a batch. You know, just classic Mark 4s and whatever the fixed 10 power is.
I'm like half surprised they didn't that wasn't chambered in 30-06 just because.
Well, that was the whole point. The M14 came around.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
I mean, a Garand was 30
Well, I'm saying
6
just
and-
because that was the standard.
They also
round,
did
you know?
have Garens that were in.
The reason the
NATO
M14
308
came because they
rechambered.
changed the standard round to
Oh.
308.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It was
like
like a fast push out
Yeah, it
for a
was,
firearm too,
it
wasn't
was just basically an updated Garen
Not-
for
not
the
a very
NATO round.
Good gun, but it worked. You know?
it's like it's kind of like, you know, the 60s were a time of exploration, you know, sexual and drugs and stuff, and the army was like 30-06 is fucking over, and so they went to, you know, in
Was
the
it like,
50s they went to 308, and after a while they were looking at this like little fucking pencil round,
It's like
like, you know, and they were like, take the M14 and scale it back down, you know, and like here we are, the Mini 14, and they're like, prison guards need something, you know, like,
Right?
It's a cool gun though.
gotta murder that guy that knows Andy Dufresne's wife. Yeah.
That rifle looks like it belongs in Jurassic Park. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thrown into the back of some
Yeah.
Mercedes thing that has no
Like they should
purpose of
have had
driving
one of
around
those
in the
Dude,
jungle.
Monster Hunter, like, it's not gonna be good. It's gonna be as good as all the Resident
Yeah.
Evils, but it looks really cool. Mila Jovovich.
Is it like the man who shot Bin Laden and then Bigfoot?
I'm not a fan of her though. I don't know.
What was that movie? That's not what it's called.
Is it about that old guy that was out looking for Bin Laden?
It's like Sam Elliott. It was like the man who killed someone and then Bigfoot.
Hmm.
I don't remember. I thought it looked really dumb.
Sounds kind of dumb.
This is
It
dumb
doesn't
as
mean-
Tremors 5. I remember when you roped me into watching that fucking They should have stopped the Tremors 1.
Well, you don't
Yeah,
watch
there's
it.
the Tremors TV show. There's the Tremors Hell
You don't watch them because they're good.
Tremors
Yeah.
5.
The
What's his
original
name's like
Tremors
sitting in
is
a cage
actually
getting pissed
very
on by
good
life.
movie.
I actually didn't watch the original Tremors because I didn't think it was very good. But
You-
that was
You didn't?
prejudice of
You
me.
haven't seen the original Tremors?
No, I've seen it. I just didn't think it was very good.
Oh, I like it
Like-
a lot.
I remember watching it, and there's like that scene where they start pole vaulting between the boulders.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell is this? You know, like,
I've
there's an entire, like, montage of that. That's, like, what they do. And
I haven't even watched that movie in a long time, and
Just being picky.
I have tons of dreams. So I do foundations for houses, right? So I'm constantly working in holes, and I have dreams
Like
at
Stormy
night.
Daniels.
We're like trying to form up like a footing for a house or something, and like we're getting attacked by graboids, all the time.
Since you work in holes a lot, do you have dreams where you're like digging for a treasure in a dry lake bed? He's like, I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Dude,
Keep digging.
that's another
that's
one.
too damn bad.
Like, you guys are a tiny bit younger than me, but when Holes came out, everyone was so fucking excited.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that book sucked so bad. I got a fucking clue what the point was. It was just a bunch of horse shit. It's like, this kid is wrongly accused of stealing shoes. So they sent him to a fucking gulag in Utah?
Yeah.
None of it made any sense to me at all.
It was popular in elementary school. That's when we were in elementary school, I think, when it came out.
Yeah, because
I was in,
we read the
Junior
book.
seventh.
You were going to junior high?
No, I might have been younger.
Because I think you got 3 years on me or something? 2 years? 3 years?
6th grade or 7th grade. I don't know.
Yeah, we read the book and had to write a report on it, and anyone that got a C or higher got to take a field trip to the movie theater to watch the
to
movie.
the fucking desert to dig a hole?
Yeah. No, those were the people that failed the report.
Yeah.
Here's a shovel, kid, just like the book you
So
like.
It's like, it sucks that all the folks that loved that book growing up weren't thrown into the desert to build fucking fucking gazebos.
That Orwellian workforce. That's how you convince people they're happy.
We should write a children's book about getting stuck in the desert to build fucking gazebos.
Oof.
Or like having a trencher and having everybody want you to trench for them.
Yeah.
It's like that fucking moron, like ass Southern guy that like wanted us to trench that Patriot missile battery.
Oh God.
And we're like, no, dude, I need paperwork. And he's like, we just want you to dig a trench. We're gonna bury us some extension cords. like, fuck no, man. And like, if I fucking hit a wire to the missile thing that protects the Middle East, somebody's gonna be mad at me. Because you want to bury an extension cord you could just drive over.
That ground was so hard over there. We broke so much equipment. That was fucking nuts.
Well, like the grounding rods, like trying to pound in the grounding rods, like.
Those fucking whatever, those inch in diameter fucking copper ground rods, 15 foot long, are not meant to be pounded through fucking 1,000-year-old sandstone that has been pelted by fucking rain every goddamn year for
it's just concrete.
Yeah.
The fucked up part is you'd get it to where there's it was sticking out of the ground by 3 feet, and then 4 foot that way it would come out of the ground because it was so fucking hard that ground rod literally made a U and came back out of the ground.
We had to take a backhoe and dig a hole 10 foot deep.
Yeah. Well, we had Captain,
breaking fucking equipment trying to get just a pound of fucking ground rod.
That was ridiculous.
Good old Captain Ahab squad leader there, where it's okay, we had all the case attachments which had a hexagon to drive them. And then we had a Bobcat auger was the smallest auger, and that has a round thing with a bolt hole.
So we just took the auger
so
off.
We found a bolt in the tub somewhere and put it in the hex thing, and got all the way down.
And then it's I had that fucker jam. And not only that, the first time the rod slipped up in between the bolt and inside the fucking thing where inside the lug, it just wedged itself because there's a second fucking thing in there.
Yeah, the thing that goes between them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that rod got wedged in between the thing that holds the fucking the extension for the auger, and I don't know, it was a fucking mess.
Yeah. Then he dug it out. And I was like, just fucking leave it. But anyway, went and got the backhoe and made a giant 10-foot wide hole. Yeah. Dug out this twisted auger. Yeah. All of that was to try and bury a grounding rod. And then those twerps from MIT said, "Oh, they can go in sideways. It's fine."
I'm not entirely convinced that didn't orchestrate. I'm going to bleep that out. Didn't orchestrate that whole thing.
The Spanish government.
I'm going to...
Those dicks.
I'm not ruling out that he didn't orchestrate the whole thing so that... Because we were fighting a lot at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that I didn't just fall in there and break my fucking ankle. Know? It's
I don't think he plans that far that hard.
I broke 2 telehandlers carrying
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
Jersey barriers, the fucking drive shaft.
God, those things were such piles of shit.
One's
Those-
telehandlers just
Well,
sucked off.
a 10,000-pound fucking telehandler isn't supposed to lift 3 Jersey barriers at fucking once.
Yeah.
You know.
I can't believe we got that shit straight. Like, you see, like, push on it with a skid steer, and you'd have old Lucas there at the end of it, like, gotta come towards me a little. And you're like, you know, just like, is that it? You know, and like, to his credit, at the end of the night, you stand there and you could just watch like a perfect line of them. They're like, how'd we do that? Like, fucking Egyptians here, you know, like, in the dark, you know, with a skid steer.
Fuck. That was a wild time. Start working at sundown. Go home
Yeah.
at sunup.
That was my favorite part, honestly, of that whole excursion was the night shift.
Well, of course it was
felt-
your favorite part. All you did was sit on your ass and hit on
Bleep.
bleep.
Yeah. I remember one time me and Shoney, we were doing the conduit, like, you guys did one pit, and me and Shoney, like, stopped what we were doing and did, like, 3 of them things and caught up to you, and we're like, how about you guys fucking do some work? And like we are. like, why don't you guys just fucking go to the boneyard?
Hanging out in a trench all night, surrounded by fucking scorpions, you know?
Deadly scorpions.
Yeah.
Deadly big scary black scorpions.
Yeah.
Those fucking...
The fat tail ones.
Those Arabian fat tails killed more Marines than the war did, you know, like, during fucking Desert Storm. And they're just everywhere.
And then here's us, like, look what I got in the shovel.
Yeah. To be fair, I only saw the one, but you got rid of it.
I didn't kill it. I carried it
you
off.
carried it off.
It's
One
like-
time,
The fucking was
Preston
huge.
was like, "Look, I got it in a bottle.
Oh yeah.
Fucking go throw that somewhere else. That is not your pet."
Yeah.
All the fucking stupid stories you hear about camel spiders too, and they're not true. And those things are kind of cute. Like, you feel bad for them. They're just like, I just
Yeah.
want.
Well, they're
I
just
just
standing
wanna-
in your shadow,
I
trying
just
to get out
want
of the sun.
I just want. Even at night, they're trying to stay in your shadow. They're like, I just want to stay cool, man.
Just be cool.
Well, and I've
man.
never seen big ones. Like, I don't know where
They're-
the big
all-
ones
like
are.
the fucking I don't know.
Yeah, the
It's
biggest one we saw was probably the size of the beer can.
Yeah, that's about
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Interesting things.
Yeah.
They were never aggressive like people was. You know,
I only saw
told me they were.
three fucking creatures out there. Fucking scorpions, camel spiders, and those
James.
foxes.
Yeah, the foxes were the
Yeah.
coolest.
Oh yeah.
I didn't,
They're
see
always-
any, I didn't see any foxes.
They remind me of my fucking my wildcat that I got at home. Just a
Uh-huh.
fucking noodle for a body. Just a
Wildcat
tool
did
that you-
growl.
They were always setting off the motion sensors at the gate, that closed ECP by our construction site. They're always setting off the sensors there that who was the company that was doing the security there again? I can't remember now. The khaki wearing motherfuckers.
Oh,
But they were always running over there because the foxes were constantly climbing
Vectress?
under the
Oh yeah, that sounds right.
Vectress.
Vectors.
I would say Waken Hut, but that was somebody
It
No.
else.
wasn't KBR. KBR was Afghanistan.
No, I'm pretty sure it was KBR.
It was Vectress in Kuwait.
Yeah, and
Okay.
KBR is Afghanistan because they've always been KBR's like fucking total giant scam, big military industrial complex scam. It's like Halliburton took over, and then KBR took over for them, and then Halliburton took over for KBR because they got in trouble, and then Halliburton like really got in trouble. And there's this company called Supreme, and then the last deployment was KBR again.
Yeah.
You know, but like KBR was giving out like well not on ours, but like KBR had like fucking Red Bull. Like, have as much Red Bull as you want. Fucking fill your arms up with Red Bull. You know? And it's like, I can't believe this shit's free. And everybody's like, it's not free. It's like $20 a can to the taxpayers, you know? Like,
That was the one, like, going overseas as an adult and not a child. It's like, it's all you see is just wasted fucking taxpayer dollars.
Mhm.
You just see fucking dollar signs floating around.
yeah,
You know, just
literally
going off into
everything.
nothing. Yeah.
And none of it
everything.
benefits you.
Nothing. And nothing benefits anybody.
Yeah, but you can win a bike at bingo.
Most of your taxpayer dollars benefits assholes, and that's about it.
Like 97% of it.
Yeah, especially overseas. That's all.
Yeah.
All
Here.
those fucking dollars just benefit somebody that isn't qualified for the job, shouldn't fucking be in that position because they're an asshole, and because they're
Yeah.
an asshole.
Everybody knows somebody.
You know.
Yeah.
I would say I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say like 95% of like command positions in the military are filled with assholes.
I was thinking
that shouldn't be in that fucking job.
Like they should really,
I'm surrounded by assholes.
Like everyone E6 and up, and everybody O and W should just get fucking fired.
Yeah. Fuck
Like
E6s.
just they're so few and far between. They're just
It's been in
fucking,
too long.
Yeah, just toss them out.
And everybody, I mean, everybody knows an asshole.
I
when
just
they see
hate
one.
everything
I mean,
there.
We all
you know?
have assholes. You know.
All of us.
I mean, reserves is okay.
I see one.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't fucking feel like we need it. They just approved like the Navy budget that, like the Columbia class submarines that are replacing the Ohios, they cost more than an aircraft carrier, and they haven't run over budget yet.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for the
F-35 nearly costs more than a fucking submarine.
I'm just
you
waiting,
know?
I'm waiting for the USS Smollett or Sommelier or whatever,
Yeah.
or the USS Baldwin.
Oh, we should have like Splinter Cell has all these like fictional, like they have the Walsh. It's like an NSA intelligence destroyer or something, stealthy surface spy ship. Should have like the Smollett's like a false flag attack ship. It's like the Chinese will think they're launching their own cruise missiles at themselves, and dumping bleach on themselves. Like, God, that fucking bastard.
Yeah.
I just can't believe the justice that has happened lately.
Mhm.
Because I got like so used to like, my fucking thoughts on Minneapolis. It's like, who the fuck would want to be a cop in Minneapolis? But like when you swallow a fucking giant bag of fentanyl, it's like it doesn't matter who you're wrestling with, you're probably gonna die. But now it's like I couldn't believe, like, I was so happy for fucking Kyle.
Oh,
so goddamn happy.
Oh God, did you watch the Steven Crowder?
Oh yeah,
thing?
yeah. Well, and I was crying too. I was
I am
so
just
fucking
astounded.
relieved. I wasn't expecting it, and I was so relieved. I was like,
no, I mean,
it couldn't be more cut and dry.
two times during that trial, I choked up.
Mm-hmm.
It was when he was recounting the whole situation first, and had like kind of that panic attack thing,
Mhm.
and then the second one was when he I
when
watched it.
they read the
I watched it live.
I didn't watch the verdict.
I watched
live.
the verdict live on Crowder's
taking a
live
shit.
stream
No.
while I was at work, and my boss ain't gonna watch this, so it doesn't matter. He didn't know about this, but we all basically.
But he can find out.
Well, like I was watching it at work, and I'm like, and some of my crew members were also interested, so we're kind of like keeping tabs on the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was just a fucking relief, and that was the second time that, I mean, it kind of gets to you. I mean, you can tell that kid was authentic, What's amazing is on Crowder's show, he talked about, like, maybe he's just being modest, but he's talking about having like almost little to no trigger time or any like rifle experience with an AR.
And I mean, that'd be a fair assessment. I mean, depending on how you make that assessment.
It's amazing. It's amazing
Who has trigger
watching the
Yeah.
footage in the trial. It's like, it's amazing. Just what adrenaline allowed him to do, and being scared for his life. It's absolutely astounding that he was able to perform that way, without really knowing or being like having that like a second nature thing,
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, I couldn't have fucking done that, probably, It's just,
I mean, a lot of
absolutely
it's, and
astounding.
not to say what he did was nothing. A lot of it is like luck,
Yeah.
Whatever the forward assist story is, which I don't quite have the whole thing.
I don't
but,
understand that one.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like, from his perspective, is he was hitting the forward assist probably needlessly, thinking that he needed to.
I think either that or the gun was dry.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't.
Because
he had that
wouldn't-
quarter-inch gap.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like he didn't actually have a jam, and he wasn't like.
I'm guessing it was like
I want to do it.
sitting like
Yeah.
sitting there.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
Like,
you keep your guns nasty.
Yeah.
But
I just can't stand. People talk shit about the forward assist, and it's like,
you want to be blind. When
But
you
still,
shoot.
I love it for admin, like press checking.
Even if
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
even if that was the case, even if the bolt wasn't completely seated in the chamber, that means if he would have been
My butt's been wiped.
he would have had the forethought or like the thought mid action to inspect the bolt.
The thing though is,
Unless he just
depending on your amount of trigger time though, it's like you develop muscle memory you don't know you have. You start, when you hear that empty that empty shot, the last shot or a jam,
Feel it.
yeah, it's like something was different. The noise was different, and you're like, oh shit.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about though. Is he was talking like he didn't really have a lot of experience with an AR at all.
I mean,
which makes it even more incredible.
I mean, it could be for legal reasons.
I mean, he had the forethought,
and it could be modesty.
Yeah.
It
or
could be modesty.
the training he did have was really on point somehow.
It's interesting though because like I'm not gonna call it forethought.
Also, you watch how he walked in that footage.
Yeah,
he did better than a lot of people you see on the range.
Yes,
and
his muzzle awareness, even when the guy came at him, he had his rifle up. And the guy backed off. I can't remember the fucking loser's name. Backed off a little bit, and Kyle like brought his muzzle down back to the ground. And then when he came back at him, he brought it back up.
Yeah,
like he didn't just keep it trained on him.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty amazing.
Well, in the words of Joseph Biden, it was a righteous kill. Unlike what Biden meant about killing that guy and those poor kids. The health.
Amazing. I'm glad he went on Crowder. I thought that was a matter of time, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And I'm a fan of his.
That channel. I don't know what the other channel was he was on the day before.
I don't know.
I saw a little bit of that, and that was funny too. That fucking retard prosecutor is like asking him if he thought he was playing Call of Duty, and he's like, a video game? Fucking
the way he
he's like, it's a video game, and then they cut to him or whatever, and he's like, and by the way, I was playing Call of Duty every night after the trial.
For an 18-year-old, he is really composed.
Oh, I know.
He's really on his game. He definitely has his wits about him.
I hope he does pursue a career in law. I hope he does.
Thank God too. Imagine if I had done
that
path for him, I wouldn't have been able to. I'd probably challenge the persecutor to a fist fight. And I'd have lost.
That prosecutor was a fucking piece of work, wasn't he?
I wish someone in the jury had been like, "Don't fucking point me at that, Alec. Don't point."
What I don't understand.
I know what you.
What I don't understand.
There's only 3 of these things.
Did you notice there's still a bolt in that weapon?
Yeah. They didn't even zip
no
tie
chamber
the
flag, no nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing to.
He picks up the rifle, finger on the fucking trigger, pointing it around like a fucking moron.
Like a Steven Seagal movie. There's no way to aim it, but
and that guy was trying to make an argument that Kyle shouldn't have been somebody that had a rifle.
Yeah. Also, I don't think that was just an example rifle or something for the.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not the rifle, and the rifle is getting destroyed, I guess. So.
Oh no!
Thing shut off. I thought he got it back, or I thought that was the.
Nope.
Because it was also.
He should sue to get it back. I mean,
no, it's his choice.
Oh, it is.
He wouldn't get it back. I don't know why. Maybe it's the state or something, but and that makes me think like if you had to defend yourself with the rifle, that rifle might not come back to you.
I want that shit back.
That's very true. I mean, that's what Glocks are good.
Yeah.
Or a P365. It's like get another one, but. I mean, if I was him, I'd want that fucking rifle with the pedophile tally marks.
What he wants, what he said on Crowder was he wants it destroyed because he doesn't want it to be
like a thing.
A thing like that's the weapon.
An idolized
museum piece.
Yeah. Whatever. He's more mature than me. I fucking hate pedophiles.
Although he just went through this traumatic thing, and even Crowder asked him, he's like, well, are you gonna get another one? He's like, I don't know. Like, obviously, I mean, like, I don't know. He's obviously been affected by it in a negative way, Well, who wouldn't be in that situation, I guess?
I suppose so. It's just sad. It's sad he has to deal with that shit because those guys deserve it.
Of course, Crowder is like, what you want for Christmas? And the guy's like, he's being.
I mean, he gave Pim Tool one of your fucking
he's
sig
like,
ARs.
He's like, you just tell us what you want for Christmas. Money's not a thing, you know,
Mhm.
and you can kind of hint that Crowder wanted to buy him another gun, but I don't think he wants one.
I want an SR-25.
Yeah.
Hashtag Crowder.
Trying to think of the most unreasonable. Sig 551 comes to mind, but
Let's see. Out of
751.
like the 5 most unreasonable
SA-25
firearms I
you
can
said?
think of, James probably owns
SA-35.
3 of them. So
SR-25.
Oh, I think. What's the Springfield Armory?
SA-35.
That's what I was thinking.
oh, that
The 1911.
high power clone.
Yeah, the high
High
power
power.
clone. Yeah.
Are those good or not?
I've been hearing.
I don't know.
I think
things.
they have
I don't know nothing
extractor
about
issues after 800 rounds.
I just
Or
saw
extraction.
I'm never gonna get to that.
I just saw
extraction issues.
I
That's
just
not a
saw ad-
fucking toy gun. That's just for like having one. Sorry.
I just saw ads.
Sorry.
That's all I was gonna say. I just
Honestly,
saw
well,
ads for it,
Grand
and then
Thumb did a
Grand
video
Thumb
on
did a
one.
video.
Oh,
For the money, I think I would rather just get like a Belgian or a Canadian surplus one
Yeah.
from the 80s.
if they're still are they around in volume?
I mean, probably not in volume, but they're still, you see them for sale all the time on Gunbroker. Not the Canadian ones, but the Belgian ones definitely.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking? Well, I sent that picture to you guys on the chat, but I was thinking Alec Trevelyan. Because, like, here's James Bond with this awful, like, not a 380 PPK, 792 PPK.
No.
Like, okay, you have to sneak into a Russian base alone and meet another guy that snuck in alone, you know? And it's like, nobody, they're supposed to not know you were there, you know? And they can't fucking find a body and stuff. It's like Metal Gear Solid Splinter Cell rules. I'm gonna bring a fucking 6-shot 380. You know,
You're not gonna have an MP7.
Yeah,
He's
MP
playing an
and-
expert.
and then,
MP7 is like always the answer for stuff like that.
and then here comes Alec with an appropriate gun. You know,
Yeah.
like real OSS guys had. And you're like, holy shit! I know he's the bad guy, but I'm kind of rooting for Sean Bean here.
Yeah.
You know, like good choice. You know, Femke Janssen, Browning High Power, old Russian shit, Puerto Rico. Like, this guy's got taste. You know, like, what's James Bond have? He has the less, he has Isabel Kupera, whatever, the less exciting Bond girl, and a shitty PPK, a Cessna. They don't even use the spy car in that movie.
No, they
Is
just
that-
drive it and drop it off.
T-80 tank, I guess, is the spy car of that movie, or T-72, T-62. I don't know. They all look the same to me. But yeah, I'm on the bad guy's side, and James Bond through and through.
We should make that tank that shoots flames out of it with the teeth from Dr. No.
Oh, the only, that was kind of, I don't want to be like SJW, but it was kind of racist, where it's like, the Islanders have seen a dragon.
Yeah.
And like, the Islanders don't know what sheet metal is? And a
Yeah.
car? You know, like, they can't tell it was a man-made vehicle? Like,
It has wheels
they've
and
never
headlights,
seen
man.
this before. They think it's a monster? You know? Good old Dr. No.
That reminds me of that. Was it Kimmy Schmidt with the line where like her dad or whatever was in the Air Force? He was Native American.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Oh,
he's
I was thinking of Kimmy
I-
Granger.
I flew
Never
here
mind,
in the
never
Great
mind.
Iron Eagle.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, it was an airplane. Honey, I was in the Air Force for 25 years.
Yeah. That was like every time we talked to Clinton, he would tell stories like that. You know, I was like, you know.
Did I ever tell you the story about how I found this patch?
He'd
And then he would just say random shit for a half hour, and then I looked down and saw it, so I picked it up.
He'd
Yeah.
go on fucking for like a 10-minute hike on why fucking an asphalt road is the certain shade of black that it is, you know. He'd go crazy. Talk about the weather. Like
I
an
mean,
old
that
man
stuff
does.
that they put on packed gravel is horrible. That
What do you mean?
that like temporary coating asphalt stuff. You got like a hard packed dirt road,
Yeah.
and then the county decides they want it paved. So they
Oh,
don't do the right way.
You're talking like
They
the
just
first,
pour asphalt on and
the
steamroller
fir-
it.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
layer. Yeah.
And sometimes that's all they do.
It's
And
Oh.
the very next year, it's all ruined from water, and you have the world's deepest potholes.
Mhm.
They should
Um,
do that, and then tar, then.
cement treated base.
Mm.
Is that what they need and don't have?
No, that's what they do. They basically have a milling machine that picks up like 6 inches of gravel or whatever off the road, mixes water and cement into it, and then packs it back down.
Oh, this is
Oh.
oily.
Oh.
But that sounds really
Yeah,
similar.
Well, you're thinking of like dust control kind of stuff?
It looks like
Uh,
blacktop, but it's way worse.
You know when like a bike path, like any bike path you could find is asphalt, and it's like you could
Blueberry.
like if you walk on it on a sunny day, your foot will sink in a little.
Mm.
It's like that shit.
Oh god.
Well, we're getting weird. We're getting into our
I
Kubrick
was just
phase.
making sure it was on. No, it's still on, guys. Don't worry.
Oh, good. Capturing all our banter. Well, we're still demonetized by the YouTube algorithm. We're probably gonna be the whole way through.
When does the algorithm know you exist?
It's like
Well, it's
Skynet.
not,
Like
it's not at 17 subscribers.
no, more than the WNBA.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Oh man.
Well,
See, there's a new Sex in the City movie.
No, I didn't see that.
Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah, I was like, them bitches are old, and then it had a joke about it even.
Mm.
I've been watching Succession. I paid for HBO Max to watch Dune, and Succession has an awful ad that makes you not want to watch it, and it's actually a really cool show. It's about like uber rich media baron kind of guys. Like
Oh yeah, I've heard people talking about that show.
I'm not sure quite who it's based on in real life, but you know, you're kind of just Bill Gates-ish guys. Like everyone's like he has fucking 4 kids, and they're all assholes in different
They're all
ways.
fighting over who's going to take over when Dad dies. Yeah,
But
I've heard lots of good things about that show.
my mom and I are watching it, and I don't think she gets a lot of like what it's like to be a guy, because they all act like guys that are good friends. You know, they're like, "Well, fuck you, sis. Bye." You know,
like what I say. I think it was on Curb Your Enthusiasm, but it's a meme like, "Fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow."
they say the simplest things so well on that show too. They'll be on like a conference call, and they'll be like, "You want 10%? Fuck off," you know, and it's delivered so well. Or it's like, I never even thought to say something like that. Like, now I want to go tell someone to fuck off, you know? Like, you think about all the times in your past that you wish you had said it, you know?
Yeah. There's like cool ways to say it too. Like who's that? Who's the actor that did like the new Venom stuff? What's his name?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Yeah.
Ed Hardy.
Like him in Peaky Blinders. Like as that Jewish like crime dude that's making all the rum. I don't know if you didn't. I thought you used to watch.
I've seen half of the first season,
Yeah.
and it was good,
Oh,
but not.
I thought
Anyway,
you
no.
watched it.
I watched the first 2 seasons.
His
and
character in
lost
there
interest.
is awesome because he's just like taking, you know, like some other important gangster would be talking to him or something, and he'll just be like, "All right, good, cool, now fuck off," you know. Like he's always like, "No, fuck off."
Oh,
So everything's fuck off.
Yeah, there's that other movie where he played those twins. It was like
Legend.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that in that
That was
movie.
Will Smith
That's
and the dog.
yeah.
It's about zombies, right?
Yeah.
I cried. Poor dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stupid Mustang.
Turns
The
out.
original's not as good as the Will
Turns
Smith
out
one.
that John Brames is the asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck with John Brames.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're literally the only guy left
Man.
in New York, and the one thing that you pick to drive around in is a fucking GT 500 Cobra.
It's such a
I had to sell that
Fuck you.
Superman
No,
versus.
that's Will Smith.
Yeah,
We're talking about LeJohn Brames.
Well, that was my fault. I was just.
I am legend.
I also don't like him though.
You know, that's the
Will Smith doesn't seem like a total asshole, but there's this footage that's obviously staged where he like clears a gun for somebody,
Yeah.
and it's
everybody's seen it. Yeah.
It's so
Every
fucking
time.
obvious. It's like, hey, intern, pick up that gun like a moron because you're a moron.
Yeah.
And Will Smith's gonna whip it out of your hands and clear it like he's so smart.
Yeah.
And it's like that.
And then
Like
the smirk
when
he has
real
on his
guys
face,
with
like-
guns end up in that situation, it's like,
Well, he, like,
put that down. You're flagging.
Well, he like
everybody,
slaps
you know?
it away, like slaps it out of his hand, and then grabs it from him.
and then does all this like.
Yeah,
It's like a montage or something. It's
Yeah.
like.
Well, there's different-
it's like
there's
Shaun
different-
of the Dead
it's,
when they
it's not
Yeah.
something
start
that
racking
the,
shotguns.
the video is meant to seem authentic, and then it's cut to different camera angles. Like it's
Mhm.
like zoomed in and fucking
Mhm.
like. It's like what the
But
fuck? And then he
production
smiles at
value
the end
is-
and laughs.
Too high to
it
be
had
candid.
genuine production value.
Yeah.
You don't catch all that, But what really pissed me off is everybody was like, "Look, Will Smith knows what he's doing."
It
Like,
is, you know,
like Tom Cruise. Everybody hates Tom Cruise for being like a nutso Scientologist, but Tom Cruise actually knows what he's doing when
Yeah.
that Mozambique drill he did in
Yeah.
Collateral. He did that like 3,000 times.
I blame Terran
like-
Tactical. Every fucking celebrity goes to Terran Tactical for 2 days, and now all of a sudden they're a firearms expert.
Yeah.
I will say
That
one
guy's
thing
a
about
fucking
that. Will
pedophile.
Smith.
He is?
I
What?
think so.
I
I
believe.
mean, he
Alright.
might just be a fucking bro. I mean, all of his.
What's our channel name? Banana?
Task Force Banana.
Yeah,
Banana Republic.
Yeah, Banana Republic assumes no liability for the comments expressed by the views expressed by the people present on our podcast.
He's very knowledgeable, but he does put off a weird vibe.
I will
Yeah.
say this about
I
the Will
heard
Smith
something
thing. though.
about
Is that the
that
same
he
guy
did
that said
was
scars
very
aren't good?
sketchy.
Fuck that guy.
No, that
Oh.
was Sean Ryan, Vigilance Elite guy.
They're different people.
Yes.
Dang, they look similar.
No,
They
they
both have
don't.
little
No,
round lemon
the
heads.
Terran Tactical guy's like short and fat.
And he definitely
Sean
wears
Ryan on-
makeup
is
and
Sh-
uses just for men.
Is Sean Ryan at Terran Tactical all the time?
I think he has been there.
Like,
Not-
there's that
not
video
all
where
the
Keanu
time.
Reeves has like the world's longest Scorpion Evo, and he's shooting stuff with all those like chicks in yoga pants.
He might have been.
I
there. don't
swear,
know.
the
Sean Ryan's the
Sean
guy.
Ryan was there.
He that video of like high port versus low port with Mike Glover.
Yep.
That was him.
Okay, I know that. It's just the difference I can't get. Like,
Oh,
I think they're all Sean Ryan or all Terran. I don't know. There was a there's a video where Keanu Reeves is shooting a bunch of those martial arts dummies like I have in Eric's garage, and I swear he was there teaching him
Was he
the
in-
drills because they have like a
as he
fake
was in
enter a
video.
door and then it's like a 180 range at least. It's pretty nice, but there's a bunch of gun buddies there, and they had really stupid like 3-gun belts with Scorpion mags that like.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were like up to their armpits. It's like nobody
Oh.
could possibly wear that
I
for
don't
more
like
than
this
30
bigger.
minutes comfortably.
Okay, that's Sean Ryan.
Okay? Tom Clancy's son.
This is Teran Butler.
Oh. Okay, whatever I'm thinking of had the girls in the yoga pants, and it did not have that guy.
Well, 3 of those 4 girls have yoga pants on.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
But anyway, now you know that they're different people.
okay. Well, Sean Ryan seems okay, but
can I let me finish
Oh,
this thought
sure,
about the
yeah.
Will Smith thing though.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. That video, I mean, it does do one good thing though. It shows all the idiots that would like really follow these Hollywood folks
Mm.
that gun safety is cool. You know, they're trying to make it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
it's
Yeah,
cool.
it's almost like a PSA for complete numbnuts that missed all the other chances to be
Because it shows
safe,
like Will
you
Smith.
know?
It's like, oh, Will Smith knows guns. Also, he's super safe. You
Mhm.
know? So it doesn't. It's not saying guns are bad. It's saying being stupid with guns is
Yeah.
bad,
Yeah.
which is kind of a good thing.
people will still miss the message.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, Will Smith's a badass.
Yeah, Will Smith knows how to open a gun.
Will Smith must hate guns.
Yo, he jacked up that Glock. That full metal shiny Glock.
If there was a cop there, who knows what would happen?
Yeah. Rest in peace, Will Smith. He saw that cop and immediately swallowed all the fentanyl he owned. I don't even know why.
Oh my god.
Tell you what, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air could have ended completely differently in the opener if he just carried a firearm.
You know, speaking
Yeah.
of criminals, I have to say, I think
You want to be one?
no, I think I got to stand behind. I think I got to stand behind Alec Baldwin with all this new shit coming to light.
I mean, if guns go off without pulling the trigger, then
I
yeah.
was gonna say because it's
That'd be terrifying.
yeah, it's far too dangerous to stand in front of him. So, what are you doing?
There we go.
That
Kind of works.
fairly effective.
You want to make me one?
Sure. It's
You're
alive.
welcome.
Here, you want to shotgun a beer?
Oh, don't shotgun
No,
it. There'll be a hole in the
Is
bottom.
that Coors empty?
That
Oh,
one's empty.
okay. I'll do it like a serious man this time.
Can't you just do it like an actual man?
Do you remember? Do you remember that Mormon kid? He could do it with nothing. He took the tab and like
That
pinch
would've been
down, twist, pinch up. You can do it. What am I doing with this? Surge. Dude, I cut the shit out of my thumb a few months ago trying that. But I cut
usually
it up
done.
bad.
What you need is like a can opener. Then you can just cut the whole top off.
Yeah.
You're like, making a spitter.
Doesn't that thing have a can opener on it?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There's traditions of these
Well,
things.
have you seen that video where the guy like opens the beer like this, or it's a pop?
Oh
and
yeah.
rips it off.
I don't know how they do
wouldn't that
that.
make that would make a good spitter after?
I saw a video today that was like some guy opening a beer like with a Sharpie. Like he's just like going around the rim with a Sharpie, and it like goes. Like, yeah, why would you want that?
Are you not entertained?
Oh yeah, this is the way to do it here.
Well, look at that.
Did you guys see that Star Wars hotel thing?
Star Wars Hotel.
No one's seen that but me?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a goddamn hotel in Orlando by the rest of that shit. And it's like a space cruise ship in the Star Wars universe. And it's $6,000 for 2 days and 2 nights.
Jeez.
Whoa!
Wow.
I'm gonna
And-
look this up.
All it is, and I swear to God, all it is like some chick dressed like a Twi'lek at a fake bar that doesn't even look like it's Star Wars, and a bunch of hallways that look like it's like if we made a
it's a
sci-fi.
cruise.
It doesn't actually move. It's a hotel that looks like it's in a spaceship. Like the window of your hotel is actually like a big TV that looks like it's space out there. Wow. What do you think after all these years?
We would have thought of that.
Yeah. Instead of like churning the
Is
butter,
it,
like
is it this
It took the one guy that
Yep.
doesn't chew tobacco.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
here, Shoni,
Yeah,
insert.
I'll pop it.
Insert. Bring.
Oh yeah, we
Our
have
new-
we didn't cheers our
Oh,
champagne.
there's a fucking YouTube thing, but
Yeah, actually,
I won't
So
be able
Disney-
to. I won't be able to pop that in.
Disney will hate us for
Disney took down their video. People hated it so much. And this is after the dislike button thing went away. That's how bad it
the
was.
dislike button is still on YouTube.
Yeah,
that. It doesn't
also,
show you the amount.
the numbers are, they
if-
can get them somehow,
No,
right?
you got to look at it's specific channels don't have the dislikes, and specific channels do have the dislike button.
Like the White House.
All the right, like,
Like the entire government? Actually, this really bugs me because now I can't go dislike General Lucky's videos.
I'm gonna say,
He's got like 400 views. He's got like three likes, and
We're-
there's me
we're gonna-
dislike.
we're gonna do an experiment here. Okay, I'm just gonna go to. This might not pan out, but this is how I understand it.
Mm.
Okay, let's go.
Hot tent camping
Hold
and
on.
snowstorm.
Let's do it. Let's
Tent cot camping?
Wood stove beef.
Oh, we should. If anybody
Hold
has a tent cot, we need
So,
to review one at some point.
if we go
I
into
mean, we could
I
go.
believe
We could,
Garrett has one.
we could literally just
He
go
has a
bring one
queen.
home.
He has a queen size tent cot.
check
Oh.
this out. Okay,
I don't think Drill has them anymore.
dislike button
Yeah. Okay.
on a channel like this.
But it doesn't show you what the number is.
So
No, it
what's
doesn't tell you what
what's
the
el-
number is.
What else do you have to say? What's your point?
No, but I thought they removed the dislike button.
No,
No,
it's
they
still-
just
Oh.
hid the number.
Yeah.
But there's a
Oh.
way to see the number. People can look it up somehow. There's it's still in the data that the code that makes up the web page, like the HTML. It's in there somewhere because guys are
Okay, I
you
thought
pop the URL in some website and it'll tell you how many dislikes it has.
so. I thought they removed the dislike button for certain things. Like altogether, there's no dislike button.
no.
It used to be that way.
Okay, I was gonna say my next move was I was gonna go to a left wing channel and see if there was a dislike button.
Oh.
That's what I was gonna do. I didn't know that's how it was.
Mm. Well, anyway, though, yeah, it's Joseph was getting too many down votes and fucking, I don't know, you name it. Sarah Silverman and Seth Rogen make a piece of shit. Just getting too many down votes.
Fauci interview.
Doesn't that
Yeah,
also?
the trailer for the Fauci documentary.
Isn't
Yeah,
that a
anything
double-edged-
Kathleen Kennedy would show up and do.
Isn't that a double-edged sword though? Because all the stuff that they don't want to get likes is just gonna show likes and no dislikes.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you're a
Yeah.
moron, you're you just oh, cool, people liked it.
I suppose.
5,000 people liked this address from the president.
Oh.
You know,
5,000
out of
people.
our entire country, 5,000 people liked it. That's pretty cool, you know.
Oh, most
Um,
people must not have seen it.
Yeah. But But yeah, the ratio thing. It's so funny. There's this meme where it's like, guys, like, you took away the dislike button. He goes to the comments, I dislike this.
Yeah, and then everyone's liking the I dislike.
Yeah.
That's the new dislike thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's scary though. It's information control. You know, it's Orwellian, and we are fucked. We're real fucked. Everybody should feel bad right now. Stop smiling.
I really want an SR-15 and a 25.
Really?
Yeah.
I would way rather. I mean, SR-15. Yeah. I've got a 416, even though I love my LMT way more. I'd count on my LMT more. But the 416 is just fucking cool. I love that. You know, same reason I'd take an SR-25, 15, especially if it had the ambi.
Yeah.
Both modes, both. If it can do both, I'd take it.
So like, I want CAC uppers with LMT lowers.
Yeah, that's fine.
Great.
But the SR-25,
Like,
I 100. Here's my list. It's like, I think the SR-25 might be neck and neck with some other things I can't think of right now. But then it's OBR, the old one, the first one, OBR, and then the top of the list is the Knights 308, whatever that's called.
SR-25.
Not the Knights. Oh, god damn it, LMT. I'm sorry.
MWS.
I had 3 beers and a dip. Here.
what's the M110?
It's an SR-25, but it's like a specific set for that contract kind of thing.
Looks like
That's a difficult question because like
understand
the M110 A1 or maybe some M110s are 417s.
really.
The CSAS is 417. M110 CSAS is a 417.
Oh, okay.
That's the newest one.
Are you sure it's not M110 A2 or A1 or something?
No, I think it's CSAS because it has a shorter barrel, so it's compact.
But it doesn't.
Semi-automatic sniper system.
Oh, I thought it had like A1 in the name also or something like.
No, there's an M110 and an M110 A1.
I thought it was kind of like the SPR where we went from PRI to Knights, even though the nomenclature didn't change.
And then back to PRI for the Holland.
Let's forget about that one. That's kind of
Mark
Was that a
12H.
real one?
Yeah.
Or did they just decide they wanted that one day?
No, so I can't remember exactly, but the H was the last name of Holland was actually one of the guys in the program that was like, hey, you know, these 20-inch rifles suck for clearing rooms. We want this rifle, but with a shorter barrel.
Yeah.
You mean an M4 with a scope?
Yeah. and PRI, they went back to PRI for that contract for the H's.
Oh, that was mine. Okay. She's supposed to be
dropped mine either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
And the Glock never worked again.
I mean, mine's got a hollow sun on. It's not battle tested.
Oh.
So
That's actually, I'm going to try and machine out that to this weekend if I have
think it would
time.
be that hard. I mean,
If my mill can do it, it's really easy work. Especially if you skip the little dots that hold it on.
Yeah.
Which you don't exactly need. It's a handgun.
yeah, or you're just gonna Loctite it.
I'd advocate having them, but
Or you're just gonna Loctite it.
I'm going to try and do the dots.
Oh, okay.
I just need a
Well,
3/32 end mill for the
Can't you?
to do the
Couldn't you?
gap.
Once you mill it out, couldn't you just Loctite the sight on, and then mill through the existing holes? with a
Well, no, because they're kind of buried.
for guide holes.
Like,
I guess
like they're under it. What I could do though is if I know the locations perfectly, I could actually drill in and then make like studs out of drill rod and pound those in, and they'd just be sort of stuck in there. They do the same thing really well.
There's a website that has all the dimensions on it.
I was gonna say.
Oh, cool! It's an RMR base, isn't
Yeah,
it?
like if you look up RMR base, there's a website that lists like everything with that base.
Oh, okay.
It's just this whole big list of all the different style bases.
You know, that's like the most bastard thing that happened is everyone's making these things and everybody picked a different footprint.
Yeah.
They should have just been like, Trijicon's got it, and now industry wide. I mean, it would make sense for you if you're Leopold and you're trying to talk up your dot site. You're like, and whatever you have right now, buy ours, and you can stick it right on same day.
Yeah.
You know, like how could they fucking overlook that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Now I have a plate.
and like
I have a mounting system for my mounting system.
yeah.
exactly.
When then like Aimpoint made that like tiny Picatinny rail looking thing, and that seems really smart, but no one seems to be into it except Aimpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe one other company I couldn't name you right now, but no one's buying
I
it.
guess
And Aimpoint was
I
sure
guess-
they'd be like,
The positive for that though is you can put an optic on there with a bigger optic, right? A bigger outside.
that
I
little
think-
rail I was talking about.
I think
Yeah.
that
You
like
just
real
put the
estate,
acros on his.
That's what I mean.
the
Oh,
real
I
estate
think-
space is
Because
still the same.
all these RMR sites are like extremely small. You know.
Yeah,
in
the
comparison.
acro. The reason the acro rail is good is because you can take it off, like just like any site.
Yeah.
When the other one, it's like probably Loctited on because you're worried about it rattling off.
Mhm.
When the Aimpoint sort of
It's like a blue
it's
versus red
just a
Loctite.
better way to do it, so you don't like because it's a lateral screw. All that impact and recoil goes. It's not gonna unthread it
Yeah.
if it's tight and Loctited anyway. Like cross bolt. I mean, in the other ones, it's like I don't want these ever coming loose because this really matters. In this one, it's like if it loosened, I just tighten it and hopefully it doesn't drop it.
I almost wonder if you'd have a problem though, like if you're doing that Picatinny shit, finding irons that you could also use as a backup through your optic.
Well,
Like, because
Yeah.
because you're going to keep getting higher.
you're right. It's mostly like the acro. The light comes from the top, so it's I don't know the if you machined it in without a plate, it would work wonderfully. But if you needed a plate that adds
Yeah.
like a 1/16 of an inch, then you're right back where you were. And Delta Points never worked like that. Delta Point had special irons that were even taller,
Yeah.
and it looked fucking hilarious. It looked like a Halligan tool or something, I mean, man, I was watching, I think Chicago Fire, and the Christmas tree fell over on all these people, and so the firefighters show up, and I don't know anything about being a firefighter, but the show seems pretty accurate in some
Yeah,
ways.
Nick was a firefighter once.
I wasn't a fire. I wanted to be one.
Fugue State. One time you
Yeah.
spent 24 hours explaining everything about firefighting, and then it was gone.
Never heard about it ever again.
Anyway, this tree falls down, and so they get all kinds of chainsaws and like angle grinders with saw blades and shit, and they're trimming branches. And once they trim a couple branches, somebody with like a fake ass bruise on their forehead would like stand up and walk out. And I'm like, this dude didn't have the inclination to like push branches out of the way and try and get out, maybe help some people. He just waited for the fire department, like, there's a pretty big gash in my forehead. Like nothing's crushing me. And then they get to like Santa got impaled by a branch, and it was like the only realistic part. And and then the firefighter that saves him has this like big emotional arc where he feels bad Santa got impaled, and he goes and visits him in the hospital. I'm like, this firefighter, he's an old guy. Like this firefighter in Chicago, like none of this bothered him until he hit like 48, and Santa got hit by a tree, and he felt awful all day and went and visited him in the hospital. It was so traumatic. And I'm like, the awful shit you'd see is a big city where stuff happens every hour of the day. There's something bad, Like, yeah, Santa got impaled. Whatever. He was fine. He lived.
So,
And
well,
Last time I
week.
took notes, I just doodled.
just doodle. All right. Well,
Eric.
Black olive drab.
Black olive drab.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
a good
it.
one. Yeah.
We should start a nightclub and call it
That actually could be a thing. I was watching our other podcast, and I was thinking about how black olive drab actually, some of that stuff kind of has a greenish tint, like your dad's truck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Black olive drab could be a thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be kind of a cool thing.
like a flat metallic.
Like a 10% green,
Yeah.
very, very dark green. Bye.
Bye. See you later. I'm gonna sell your laptop.
We need a montage where it's like, blah, 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 ran for Congress. It's like, Nick was never seen again. Like, so you guys probably know about this, but I just found out about Toyota Chinooks, and they're making a Tundra Chinook, like re-releasing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my coworker was showing me them, and I was like, that looks like a Tundra, and he's like, oh, it's a new one. And I was like, well, that's cool. And it's got like the two, like one of the stripes is yellow and one's brown,
Yeah,
whatever.
the old school Toyota patterns.
But yeah, he said that's like a thing, like a DeLorean and old Tacoma and all the things people are into. He said that the Chinooks is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And-
they're like the smallest ones.
Which
Oh.
is hilarious because it was basically just like the mini trucks. It still had the carbureted 4-cylinder, and then they put this giant fiberglass camper.
I mean, the Chinook was still like not that wide
Right.
compared to like the Sun Raider.
Yeah, they didn't like it wasn't like the whatever the Winnebago ones were where they like made them a dually.
Yeah.
But regardless, like they still added probably a ton and a half to what's still a carbureted 4-cylinder mini pickup.
Making 86 horsepower.
Yeah, it's like how like
With no overdrive.
which mind you, it makes a decent camper, but if you have to drive anywhere to go camping, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah. I think they're really cool.
They are cool.
But I would like swap a 5EZ in it.
But that's the best part about them is because the parts on those pickups were so interchangeable. You could literally just take one of those and put it on a 4-wheel drive chassis and literally have like an 80s Overlander with little to no work. Like it's a very common swap. It's super easy to do.
Yeah.
Many people have done it. Incredibly easy.
It's really neat.
Is that what you're doing next?
I would like to.
Ask those
but-
people that sewed your thing if they just sew you a bigger one that goes over the cab. It's just all
Actually,
fabric.
Yeah.
I really wanted an Overlander like trailer camper, but we're not.
Who makes those jet
If
streams
you
that
wanna
are for
do
like
that,
overlanding?
I'll take your 2 4Runners for like real cheap.
Nah. But that's a good point. Like you always see like the trailers that people make out of pickup
runners.
boxes.
Yeah.
Like
Your 8-runner.
like yeah, I don't like the whole fad where like people were building like overlanding trailers so that like have all of like the shit on them, like for the price of like a whole nother truck, when you could literally just get another pickup box trailer and put the
And
racking on it
build all your
and
shit.
put your rooftop tent on that, because then when you go to a campground you can actually unhook it from your truck and leave it your camp set up
See,
and
like,
go do stuff.
That's where my dad is at, but he has no fab skills, so he just wants to buy a trailer, but not put a rooftop tent on it. He's like, I have 7 tents. Why do I need another one
Well, that's
Yeah.
true.
that I have to climb into?
That's true. Your
But he
dad
wants
already
to
has
have-
the good.
He wants to have all his camping gear that he can just like leave at the campsite.
You know what I do like is those skirt things that fold out from the sides, so you have like an awning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks really neat.
Yep.
And it's compact. Where it's like, how cool would it be to just like undrape this thing and put out 2
I like the
folding chairs?
270 ones.
Yeah, some of that's insane. That it's like some fucking.
Yeah, where they have like the annexes
X-wing
that
or
come
something,
down
you know?
and it's
Yeah.
like a whole room. I
I'm
don't-
kind of at the point where I might get like those like decked drawers in my truck
yeah,
and put a topper on it.
yeah. That's
Hmm.
Because
a good way to go.
I was thinking about getting the like Diamondback thing like my dad has on his truck.
That's too much.
And it's easy to take off, but it's kind of a pain in the ass if you put anything taller than that in it.
Yeah, when it divides so definitively, like
Yeah.
you've got to either be in or on.
Yeah.
Like
That's why I like
It-
that fast topper that I have so much, because like you can keep stuff out of sight, out of mind for the most part when you have the big canvas up. But it takes 5 minutes to completely collapse down into the box if you need the space.
Yeah.
I
That's
can't
kinda
say
where
I
I'm
can't
at
say
with, like,
enough good things.
it just-
about
A regular topper.
I think-
because it's a 5-foot bed. I mean, I could take that off myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think what you got though looks good on specific trucks and wouldn't look good on everything. It
Yeah.
looked like shit on my truck, but it looks fucking awesome on a Toyota.
Yeah, so that's the
You
thing
know.
is it doesn't look good on a stock truck because stock trucks are flashy nowadays and it's
it
a
needs
canvas. Whereas if
Yeah.
you make it more off roady, it fits the look
It
better.
fits. Yeah.
If you put a
bit
taller
more-
tire and
Yeah, you gotta-
all you gotta do is
yeah.
put metal bumpers on your truck and it'll
Yeah.
look
Well, I feel like it
the
just
part.
has to be more of a
But-
utilitarian kind of look,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
an XL F-150.
Like
kind
a
of
canvas
thing.
topper is not gonna look good on a platinum.
No.
Yeah.
It's just the way it
Because
is.
like my truck, like the only thing that as is, the only thing that would look good on it is a hard topper.
If your
that
rims,
matches the paint
if
color,
your rims
yeah.
are bigger than 17 inches, don't buy that.
Yeah.
No.
You need to have as much sidewall as you have tread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Need a big old set of floodlights on top. Just big old.
Those floodlights better say KC or I ain't buying.
Yeah.
I just wish
They better
Like,
have
Jeep had
covers.
like the cheapest made in China fake
They better have
KC
covers
lights.
that look like a smiley face.
They even had like it wasn't KC, but it was some kind of looked like it.
CK.
Yeah, it was like that Air Jordan knockoff. It was like that Starter or whatever Walmart brand.
I bought
And
Starter.
yeah.
Both
yeah.
of those.
Yeah, like it's like it's not Michael Jordan because his knees bent. You know, like
Those
I see.
knockoff Hella lights that you used to have on your truck, where instead of saying Hella, it said halogen, but it was the same
font.
same font.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, old
That wasn't
son.
me.
Oh,
Hey, old
no?
son. I see you got KC lights
They're
on
like,
your
like
rig.
the little,
No,
square
those are
amber
CK
fog
lights.
Yeah.
like on like the Trueno H6s.
CKY lights.
You know, like where it was,
Oh,
They're
it would say
Bamager
Hella,
approved.
They were Hella fog
Oh,
lights.
those didn't have covers on them.
Oh, okay, that's what it was then.
But yeah, they were like $11 on Amazon.
Yep.
You know, if there was one kid that wasn't
I
beat,
thought you were talking about my 4Runner.
Oh no, the
Yeah.
little red pickup.
if there was one kid that wasn't beaten enough as a child, it was Bam Margera.
Yeah.
You know,
I hate that show. All those shows he made. It's just a fucking asshole. Like everybody's so proud of him for being like.
like if I was his dad, and I mean,
Put that
he's
somewhere
making a
with
shit
the
ton
other
of money
ones.
doing
Oh,
his
Reed
nonsense.
didn't finish it, Shoney.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah, but Shoney leaves like
Recycling's
this
gonna
much in there.
stink.
Fill your hands, you son of a bitch!
No, we just got canceled.
Should we count the cock? Cocks?
The cocks, count the cocks.
Oh.
The
4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go grab my shoe.
see, this is what. So Alec Baldwin.
So that's 2.
It's 2.
We were already at 1.
Yeah.
3. 4, and that's the bottom, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's maxed out.
And at none of them, can you let go? Like as you're traveling down, when you let go of the hammer,
No.
it'll stop until you're at.
See,
You need the trigger.
Their argument was that the sear. It feels weird to have my finger out of the trigger while even holding this fucking gun. The only argument that they could make is that that sear is broken
Oh,
or non-existent, not in place at all.
well, it'd be easy to prove or disprove that.
Yeah.
That'd
By-
be very easy
By
for the sheriff's department.
stripping apart the firearm.
Yeah. I mean, I could understand that. It's just that there was a live round in the first place.
That's the biggest
I mean,
problem with that whole thing
yeah.
is that
I
there
mean,
were.
as far as I could tell, it was a B-list movie, and they literally got the cheapest armor they could get, and this girl didn't.
Apparently, there wasn't even as far as I understand, there wasn't an armorer that handed him the firearm. And how these movie productions work is there's always like an armorer or there's someone that's like,
I mean-
in control of the firearms, and like certain actors that like pass that have the training to run blanks get those firearms, the ones that'll actually be shooting in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and then everyone else gets a rubber dummy gun.
Oh yeah, all the stunt ones.
Yep.
That, yeah. I don't know. It's like what?
But they all go through the training.
And-
And even George Clooney, I think, even said something about how, because Alec Baldwin was saying, well, even if I fiddled with the gun, they would have just taken it away from me. And then George Clooney was like, we always check the firearms after they give it to us.
Well, and I mean,
Some shit like that.
there is a monochrome of sympathy for
I don't think he.
like.
I'm on the side that I don't think Alec Baldwin.
I don't think that guy
I
would know
think
the
he's a-
difference
I think
between a
he's-
dummy round and a blank.
I think
or
he's-
and a
yeah, exactly.
a ball round. You know.
And why would he load a live round in?
But this happened at basic training for me. There was like the box of like silver dummy rounds.
Yeah.
And
like the
we're-
50 cal rounds? Or,
no, like 223 rounds.
Because you see those 50 cal dummy rounds, they actually have
Or-
the bullet in the
Yeah,
casing.
5.56 rounds. But yeah, it's basically just a snap cap.
Yeah.
But it's silver in color,
Mhm.
and some of them are dimpled.
Yeah.
And so we're doing like malfunction drills. Like we had a bunch of cadets come in for like a couple days,
Mhm.
and so we had like stations. And we're in there. Everyone's got their M16 with the BFA on. And this one kid, I don't remember what platoon he was in. It doesn't matter, but there was a live round in the whole box of dummies, and he loaded it and fucking shot a hole in the wall.
Oh, it got that far.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And there's like a whole investigation. He's like, I thought it looked different. I thought it looked cool. I
So
figured I'd put
what-
that one
so
in there.
what I was saying was, I don't
Like he didn't know what difference between a
don't
dummy and a live
believe
round.
I don't believe Alec Baldwin was intentionally trying to murder somebody. I don't think he even had a clue that live round was in there. I think we need to figure out
Someone.
who gave him the rounds. If he loaded the weapon himself, clearly he didn't know the difference. Who was in control of the ammunition, whether they were blanks or live rounds, and why was that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That aspect of the control wasn't vetted enough.
I've got two big opinions here, and it's like,
why would he load a live round in, point it at his photography director or whatever, and cinematography director, and then shoot her.
I mean, I presume the camera was
unless he is so fucking stupid that he thought he was going to get off on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's irrational. I mean, look at what it's. There's no reason unless would he really hated her and this was his plan to get rid of her? That none of that.
But you would think he'd be smart enough to be like, oh, that's a for sure. I'm going to court for this fucking thing.
So all of that's in my head, and I'm like, okay, the dude's an idiot. If he knew anything about guns, you look at his Twitter account. Everything he had said prior to that for the last 5 years, if he knew anything about guns, he wouldn't have said a lot of things, you know. So obviously the dude's ignorant as fuck about how to use a firearm safely, you know. My other thought is everything you know about guns, you know, it's like you're the person responsible. If you pull that trigger, you're the person responsible for that round, hands down, you know. It's like, and then, you know, after the incident, all these things come out, you know, the Will Smith thing or whatever. It's like Keanu checks every round that goes into his guns, and it's like he shoots, like in the footage, he shoots thousands around. That's not counting the takes they didn't use. You know, it's like, does he literally look at every blank, make sure there's a little fucking screwdriver looking thing, you know? I mean, maybe he does, but I can't say. But that's a lot of rounds to check for a guy that's busy doing all these other things.
And I'm not saying he should get off free, nothing like that. I'm saying that I think they also need to be looking at some other people here. It's
just, and I mean, I know everybody's saying this.
Who knows though? It might have been who knows? The fucking guy might have been paid off to do a push for gun control. You know?
I mean, well, and I mean, somebody. Like I said, there's Alec Baldwin's like asshole on set, and somebody didn't like him. Like sabotage isn't.
Rittenhouse is getting off. Like he's gonna get off. Like there's no way he's not gonna get off. We need to make guns seem extremely dangerous.
I mean, potentially. I mean,
I got an idea.
The craziest ideas end up being the truth a lot of times. But
you know, who knows? Maybe Hillary Clinton like paid off Alec Baldwin to get fucking heat off of Maxine.
Have we ever seen that teenage
Lee Harvey Patton Oswalt work for?
That 20-year-old girl and Hillary Clinton, have they ever been in the same room together? Do we know they're not the same person?
Maxwell. That's what I was trying to say. Like it's like, we need to take some heat off of this. So why don't we make some news?
It sure feels that way sometimes.
But I just don't think that when you look at the prosecutor in the Rittenhouse case, like just how little that motherfucker knew, like about firearms. The little he knew about it, he didn't know how to fucking hold a rifle. Didn't know how to fucking control it safely. And he's in a courtroom.
No, I think he did.
I'm saying.
Are you talking about Rittenhouse or the prosecutor?
Prosecutor.
Oh.
I'm saying the prosecutor didn't know how to like safely handle a firearm. That's like a good.
Not Gary Oldman.
That's a good, like.
Littlefinger.
He's a good representation of like how the left views and would handle firearms.
Yeah.
I wonder what the ND statistics are since COVID.
Alec Baldwin's a part of it. Even though he's been around firearms, he's used firearms in movies before. It's like that guy's just Alec Baldwin might be just so fucking clueless about firearms.
Well, he's also clearly clueless about how to handle this situation. You know, like when you say you don't have any feelings of guilt, like what kind of psychopath thing is that to say?
Plus, all those
I'd feel guilty if I was involved in the filming of that movie and had absolutely nothing literally to do with it. I'd be like, man, I could have fucking if I had noticed there was live ammo, I'd have said something, and I didn't. You know, I mean,
all these
how are they not even there? You know?
Older generation, like single action, even double action, fucking revolvers are like extremely reliable guns. You know, and unless there was a fucking piece missing, like that, I don't know if is that what it's called, the sear that locks.
I believe so. In this case, the sear is what retains the hammer.
So,
but
unless that was
kind
missing
of a grab bag of
or
terms.
completely damaged, it's like.
Well, I mean,
What?
Well, on that, to have the sear be missing would be the hammer being gone or the trigger being gone.
Well, I think what we're talking about is that little piece of the spring that.
Pushes.
It's not a spring. The spring's on it.
Holds it.
Yeah, I haven't seen an X-ray of one of those in a long time, but
Cut to see an arsenal.
yeah, but the hammer.
If one of those posters I have was that, I just get it.
Yeah. The part of the hammer that the center turning area is on has little recessed sear surfaces, and there's a piece that disengages, and there's a spring on that. And if that was worn down or damaged, I could see that. But that's very easy to prove or disprove. Just take it apart. Now, one thing I will say is, like, revolvers are reliable, but the thing about that is, if you do pull the trigger, the whole thing changes. Because, like, one time at the range, I found myself in a situation where I was like fanning or whatever. I don't know quite what I was doing, but anyway, I had the cylinders loaded with fresh rounds. All 6 were ready to fire, and I had my thumb on the hammer, and I pulled the trigger, and I decided I didn't want to shoot. And at that point, you have to let the hammer back.
Just like this, right?
Well, and you have
Here
to
we go. We got a trigger.
But just like
We got a hammer.
Yeah, but here, do you see how that went all the way home? Like right now, that would be pressed into the primer.
So you can...
Yeah, so you've got to go very slowly, very carefully. And, I was at a range. I wouldn't even call it an ND. It was like, if it's going to go off, I'm already aimed at a safe direction, expecting it to go off. But I was like, come on. And it felt like it didn't engage. And I actually went back down with the hammer and up. It's learning an antiquated system. I'm like, I'm used to fucking striker fire handguns. And finally I found it. And I was like, okay. And I let the, I had the trigger let go. But anyway, I finally found it. And I like, okay, and then I had to pull it back to the state where you could rotate the cylinder. Oh, battery. Oh, all right. We're just on audio then.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damaged. I could see that scenario, and damaged. I couldn't see it. In missing, somebody. Well, that's hard to say. Somebody would have noticed, but you'd fucking notice that it's like this gun doesn't work because the hammer just goes home when you
ever seen
touch it.
Have you ever seen a Western film where the finger's not been in the trigger well?
Not that I recall. No,
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to that, so I can't say. But I feel like it's probably happened.
Hollywood's sort of like at some point enough people whined about that trigger finger discipline thing. And like Hollywood was like, okay, this is like how we look professional. And now like Steven Seagal keeps his finger outside the trigger well now in his piece of shit movies.
Steven Seagal also wears an orange or like a yellow pair of fucking safety glasses that are stitched to his fucking head. So
yeah, it's like some autism thing. Like he needs he needs the orange glasses or he has a little fit.
What if there's lasers?
Yeah. Dude, today I was at Runnings. And they had like big yellow Walter soap check, like aviators, but clear yellow.
Oh.
And I was like, oh man, I need these to wear them to the podcast. They were $20 bucks.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm never wearing these again. I don't think they even cut light. Like there's like 3% UV light cut. I was like, oh, those are for me.
I don't like the brown or the yellow lenses.
I like the yellow.
I like yellow at night a lot.
I like yellow in the winter.
Like
when I'm working outside, that's about it.
On deployment, when we work nights, I always wear the yellow.
Anybody else feel like Joe Biden's ruining aviators for everyone?
Yeah.
Like aviators were cool. They were like Top Gun sunglasses, and now they're just fucking toast.
It'd be cool if he was in.
Now you gotta
Joe Biden
find your way to the rose garden.
Joe
just wander through the hedges.
Joe Biden would make aviators cool if he if he had served in the Air Force. And also loved America.
Yeah, if he was a patriot. I mean, you could say that about anybody, though. It's like, Hitler was wearing aviators, so, and it's like, yeah, but so was FDR.
Think Hitler would fuck one of us for a chocolate bar?
I saw a video, and I'm not sure I have the context right. To be completely honest, I don't quite know what was going on, but, like, it seems like this guy's always touring auto factories. That's, like, his thing. He goes to some fucking auto factory on the East Coast or something and walks around. But they had a blind guy on the tour, and the blind guy had like a seeing eye man that the blind guy was like holding his arm and hitting stuff with a stick, and this fella was just there to escort him. Well, like that dude, like whatever, picked up a cup of coffee or something, and the blind guy grabbed Biden's arm. And they just started walking together, and Biden didn't say anything. He's like, and the seeing eye man comes up and like pushes them apart and puts his arm in. And like, here, let's go this way.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Can't believe that isn't a meme yet. Of course, I don't know where to find good memes. There used to be this channel on YouTube called Meme the Left. It's this Australian guy. I'm guessing he's in one of their gulags right now because his channel's disappeared.
Yeah.
But it was all the best memes from Twitter or something. And you go to that r/the Donald, and it's just like news and shit. And like, where's all them memes? Why don't you have a meme tab? You know, I want to see the good memes.
I follow gun memes on Reddit.
We had a meme.
I depend on Brendan Herrera to find
Yeah.
them for me.
We had a meme for a president.
No, he has
and
a
it
new
was
subreddit.
Fucking wonderful.
It's Brandon Harara.
Harara.
Like the second E is actually an A now
Oh,
because the first one got shut down. On
Oh,
Reddit
I
or
see.
whatever.
he's one of the few people I still like a lot. Like, he has never disappointed me in his opinions or honesty or, you know,
Yeah.
like, he's serious when it's important and he's
And
funny as fuck when,
Also,
you know.
he's like one of those channels I watch where it isn't like super informative,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
but I
you,
still like it.
like you can put it on and like you don't feel like you missed anything if you look away for 30 seconds,
Yeah.
which is a good thing in this context.
Mm-hmm.
and I feel so bad saying it, but Grand Thumb is hurting for content because I
Mhm.
barely even watch anymore. I'm just,
Yeah,
It-
I've
Now,
lost
now
interest
it's
in a
one of
lot
the
of
ones
his
I just
stuff.
like put on,
like, if it
Now it's-
autoplays, sometimes
and
I'll
I
tune
just
in.
I just scroll
It's still, I
on my
mean,
phone.
he'll still like touch on a bunch of guns that I've never really had any knowledge on or really have seen much of. So it's still kind of, you know, when one weird one comes up, then
Same
it's interesting. But
Mhm.
I can only make it about 5-10 minutes into his fucking videos.
It's like none of it upsets me or anything. I'm just bored.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the only things he does that I really like still, he doesn't do much of, which is
That's
like
what I
the
meant by same thing, but I forgot
Delta
I had a
Force
weird-
Carbine or the Delta
Yeah.
Force M14. You know, like those were really neat.
I
That's
do
the
like
last
his.
thing I could name you that I liked.
I actually love Grand Thumb's.
I miss the ones where you just like
mentality.
talk about pants
Mm.
or coats.
Yeah,
or
the-
backpacks.
The gear ones, his old gear ones are really good. I mean, I don't dislike Grand Thumb. I think, like you were saying, he's just running out of shit to talk
Yeah.
about. Like, he made, like, at this point, he's made 3 MP7 videos, and, like, those have...
There's a bunch where he's just
Those have a
shooting like
shitload of
Jello
viewers,
torsos.
But, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's doing the demo ranch thing.
Demo,
Yep.
yeah.
It's like,
Well,
what
he's
if
also
we swing a golf ball into
he's
this?
also on Demo Ranch like a lot, and Demo
Yeah.
Ranch kind of sucks.
Oh, he's
I
actually
can't
on it?
stand Demo Ranch.
Yeah.
Who are the guys that like jam shit in shotgun shells?
Slow-mo guys?
I mean, I would have said it was Demo Ranch,
Oh,
but
no, FPS Russia was doing that for a long time.
no, it's somebody current.
Isn't he in
But
jail now?
He's out.
He was.
Yeah, he was, but he's out now.
the shotgun shell thing, as cool as it sounds, I got so bored of that so quick. Where they're like, "Is
Like,
this the
immediately
magic?"
after the time we put dots in
And then-
Eric's gun.
Yeah.
And then Eric's like, "Do you guys have any way to clean this?"
yeah.
It's a shotgun.
Just shoot another real round.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Actually, I knew about these, but I never thought about them. But Walmart sells like cleaning slugs.
You
Oh,
guys
really?
shot
Yeah,
dots?
it's like a special.
Yeah, we
wad of
made
shit
custom
to clean
candy
the bull
dots?
rag.
Like the candied dots. Yeah,
I don't know why.
You
Yeah, we
loaded
just
them in the shells.
we just cut the wads out and stuffed them in like they were slugs, and we shot steel at like 20 yards with them, and they
it's a jelly smear.
yeah, they just like
The schmear.
they made it
Schmear.
through the
Half schmear.
barrel, but like they came out as like I'm assuming a goo. They weren't solid
It
when
was
they
a
hit the
full cone
metal.
of dots.
But
Maybe the most interesting thing we've ever done.
Yeah.
the most important, the most important question though, will it kill?
I mean, it's environmentally friendly.
This blade will cut.
Should have slow mo camered it so that like
Yeah.
jelly is.
What's that called where you make the noises when it's slow-mo?
Oh, the Foley artist thing. Yeah.
You just sit there.
I couldn't believe some of that's so fake. Like Smarter Every Day, like, and he was
Now I
honest about it,
notice
but
it.
he's like I make all those sounds because there isn't actually audio.
Yeah.
Like it's just one flat tone for
Yeah.
the entire millisecond. You don't hear changes. So insert them, and
Now I notice it is the problem after
Yeah.
that video.
it's like that. We go to speech class and you like see everybody saying and then you
Yeah.
can't unhear it.
And it's like, I know that's just a guy going,
Yeah. Or like when Foley artists are really bad, like the world is not enough, where he's got that speedboat and he like turns sharply in the water and it makes tire squeaking noises. And you're like, it never seemed wrong, but geez, now.
yeah.
Like,
What always bothered me about tire screeching noises is they're all the same.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Yeah.
all the same ones from, like, Driver 2 for PlayStation 1.
Yeah, and they're always like at like low speed points on like surfaces that wouldn't make that noise at
Yeah.
all.
It's like the Wilhelm scream, but tires.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing as, like, you pick up a gun and it's just picking it up goes,
Yeah.
yeah, constantly.
Yeah.
Cocking noise every time a gun moves.
like, is every gun just a rattly piece of shit?
Yeah.
That's why this one, I have this like safety backplate that swings out,
Yeah.
and the cool thing is, clear handgun. If you push on it, the striker can't advance. Like you're fighting the trigger in this plate. Here, I'll dry fire. You see the plate
Oh.
lifts up a little.
Yeah, that's not standard with the Glock plate.
Nope, it's like $40, but I like it for holstering because when you push it into the holster, if something grabs your trigger.
You can't
Yeah.
AD in
It
the
just
holster.
can't. It's like another manual safety feature.
I like that.
But
Well, and it's the same if you have a...
Oh,
it almost makes the movie cocking noise now.
It's also the same motion as, like, a hammer-fired gun when you holster.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like the number one thing I miss on striker fires. I wish 365s had them.
Yeah.
I wish like crazy that company would go and make the 365 version because that's like the number one appendix carry gun, like
Yeah.
that and those little Glocks and
Oh, I put a claw on my...
Springfield one.
I put a claw on my 365 holster.
I really,
And it wears a lot better now.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna buy one.
Like,
but
I had an extra...
the thing to twist the
Yeah.
The little dog leg.
I had an extra
Oh.
claw, but, like, the paddle on it was, like, this tall, so I just, like, put the belt sander in the vise and held it on it.
Oh,
So
okay.
it got shorter, but, like, now, even in a t-shirt, you can't tell that, like, every single time there'd be, like, that little, just the floor plate,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you could see it.
I really want to buy one, but I think I only want to get the XL. Take the work out of putting.
I
a
don't
dot
see any
sight
harm
on
in
it.
getting the XL. They're basically the same thing, except the
Well,
XL
the thing
you
is,
can
like,
put a dot sight on.
The thing I don't
Well, it
understand
comes with
about
a dot
SIG
sight.
is all of their models.
Sometimes.
Like, there's a 320X carry and a 365 XL, and they're the same size.
Yeah.
Well, the XL grip I thought was longer.
I don't know.
It's definitely
it is.
different.
Like, they're different guns, obviously, but they're the same size. They fit, like, the same market.
Because I've got the
and there's so
extended-
many different 320s now.
The XL grip is
this,
longer.
This space is, I don't know how, but it's different on the XL. Because when you get mags, the extension plates, there's like
They're
alternate
flat.
choices.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like you buy a mag, it comes with another one if you want to swap this, so it can go in an XL. And it's like, I think this is just,
fine.
Why didn't
It's-
they make them the
But
same?
I know,
I know, right?
Jake,
Yeah.
my friend
Yeah.
Jake, on the normal one, his pinky hangs off, but on the XL, his pinky's on without a mag.
Oh,
So
because
it's,
mine I have the mags
it's-
with
it's
like
at least
the little
a finger's
finger nub
width
or the
longer.
extend.
yeah.
yeah,
the
because
extended base
on
plate.
on the normal 365, he has to have the extended mag to get his finger on it. He's got fairly big hands.
Yeah.
Whereas on the XL with the standard mag, the non-extended one, he can get his pinky on it.
Oh,
Yeah, because
So the grip is longer.
even I can't.
this isn't pointed at
Pinky.
Eric's face, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like 3 feet away.
Eric's much smaller. Give us the money.
Yeah.
I'll shoot her. But yeah, it's like, and it's like, it's you want to be comfortable shooting, but you don't fucking need that. If you can't have it, whatever. Life goes on. But I mean, I'd rather have this shorter if you need it short and have the meat on the mag.
Yeah, I agree.
And like I'm really impressed with this gun. I know it had Striker was sweeping the primers or whatever.
Yeah.
Which seemed to be the case for every gun this size. Like the 2 Glocks this size and the Springfield, the Hellcat. Yeah,
Yeah.
all of them were doing it. Like I don't know why.
What is that? Just ends up being a light strike misfire? Or?
No, it goes off. It's just like the striker hits it, and like on a Glock, you see that little pyramid shape.
Yeah.
Like on these, and I haven't even looked at my brass forever. It's not a problem, but on these, you'll see it dragging across the
Oh.
primer as it gets
Which
ejected or something.
I think on the original ones it led to broken strikers.
Yeah.
Oh,
they
yeah,
were
it
actually
did.
breaking.
What is it
them.
like? The tolerance, like the hole that they allowed for that striker is
It just
too
like
big,
doesn't come
too
back
slopped
while
out?
it's ejecting.
Oh,
Like it's still
Yeah.
oh,
kind of in the
I
Right,
primer
get it.
while
it's
it's kicking
forcing the
round
casing across it
Across
as
the
it's
striker,
ejecting it.
And
yeah.
it just seems to be like these size handguns seem to have that problem in many brands. And I don't know, but whatever they did, they
Almost
picked
like the
better
cat.
materials for the strikers or whatever. It doesn't seem to be a problem
like
anymore.
the caliber's too big for the gun's britches, kind of thing.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't exactly know. It's kind of funny how like new technology is made of the exact same stuff it always was.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I mean, it might have been a bit of an ask, but in World War II they could have had subcompact handguns for OSS people. Like you compare a PPK to a 365, and it's like all they really did is rearrange the magazine. That's the number one improvement is they did that grain elevator shape.
PPKs blowback.
No, I'm just saying like what makes a 365 better than a PPK?
Oh,
and
I
it's
see.
like in the same footprint, it holds 10 rounds of 9mm instead of 6 or 7. I'm not sure what I got in that number, but 6 or 7 single stack 792, whatever the fuck, 765.
Yeah.
But it's just like we're 80 years later, maybe 100 years since the PP design came around, and it's like, okay, well, what's innovative? It's like, well, we have plastic now, and we have strikers instead of hammers sometimes, which is different. It's arguable whether that's better or not. And it's like, well, we figured out that you can make circles stack a little different. You can have another couple circles in the place your hand goes.
And it's like, if you think about it, strikers have been around for a long time. Like, every bolt action is a striker-fired gun.
A Luger's striker fired, isn't it? Or it's like a spring-loaded, seared striking. It's not like a Glock where the striker's
It's not
cocked.
a hammer. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, needle fire rifles from long
it's just
ago.
holding that back, and then you pull the trigger, and it...
Yeah, but I don't know. One time in Kuwait, we were all sitting around, and they're like, "What are you thinking about?" And I was like, "I wonder what it would be like to do like World War II with my Desert Tech SRS." It'd probably be about the exact same. 5-round magazine bolt action.
You might get another 100 or 200 yards out of your engagement.
Yeah, I mean,
distance,
I guess, did the scope come back in time too?
Yeah.
Well, should we leave it at that?
I suppose so. We're at like
Before
2
this shit shuts off
hours.
We should take a
2 hours 15 minutes.
We should
that
take
sounds
a
good.
PU Nagant scope and put it on your SRS and just see how we can do.
Like a really expensive experiment. I guess there's the 6.5 one. Yeah.
All right, let's say bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us, Eric. Tune in next week. Our guest will be Reed Hendricks from Valor Ridge.
What did last we stood 2 cables away? How I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. Well, I cracked 4 pounders, made an awful din, but an American ball came, staved us in. Goddamn them all. I was told we'd sail the seas for American gold. We'd fire no gun, shed no tear. But I'm a broken man on a Halifax beach.